TheRantCast. Oh yeah, it's the Rantcast, episode 80. And we're live.
Wait, we're live? What?
What?
Oh, crap. I'm all unbuttoned. I'm just kidding. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Rantcast Podcast, episode 80. You are joined by both TheStrangeBus and Kurgan. I'll go ahead and get started here. We've got a great show for you guys tonight. Hope you're all doing great. Hope you're all taking good care of yourselves and each other. And glad I'm good to be back. I feel great. Feels great to be back. How you doing today, Kurgan? How you feeling?
Feeling groovy. Feeling good.
All right.
Yeah.
Just for anybody who is new to the podcast or listening to us on Spotify, you can find my friend Kurgan here at twitch.tv/heroquest that is twitch.tv/heroquest also known as XSC3, home of HeroQuest fans on YouTube. Go ahead and give him a look-see.
Oh, video's frozen there. Not sure what's going on. We always got to have
me buffering as usual, probably.
Rantcast.
Technical issues. It's my
Oh, there we go. Yep.
My camera hasn't seen streaming action in a long time. Give me like 2 seconds. I'll rebuffer it.
Flex, you've seen a lot of action.
So,
I got all the carbon scoring.
We got a lot of carbon scoring here. I don't ever recommend getting a Razer monitor ever, or a Razer camera ever. Don't ever get one. They're awful. So they require their own proprietary software. They buffer like every 2 seconds. They are awful. I regret this purchase.
Like a negative endorsement. It's like a D promo code or something. I don't know.
Yeah, don't buy one. Any other Logitech webcam, anything else, do that. But I'm not like one of those crazy streamer people who buys a $2,500 DSLR just to put it on top of my computer and look good. So you can buy a decent webcam.
Yeah. Well, it's great to have you back. I'd forgotten what it was like to have a co-host. Just kidding. It hasn't been.
I know. I disappear very frequently.
I know you got.
You
get all
go into the void.
Life happening to you.
Yeah. Speaking of which, it sounds good. We didn't do a sound check, and I know that when I disappear for many an eon, I tend to come back and everything's crusty. Like my camera right now is crusty. I'm looking like way crustier than usual, so that's something I'm gonna have to fix. But
I like your shirt though. I'm seeing a little bit of Dragon Ball Z action.
Oh yeah. That's another series that literally won't die either.
Yeah, even though the
speaking of talking about things, yeah, they came out with Daima, I think, was the new series. And I'm like one of those old guys who like didn't particularly like GT and all that stuff, so I didn't mind that Super came out. But I don't know. I spoon feeding the fan base now is kind of been kind of a sour thing for me. Speaking of which, like I said, we're gonna have a great show for you guys. I came prepared. I've got this little, I call this thing my podcast notebook. And so we're gonna come prepared and ready to go. Yeah. We have some talk about the Gina Carano and Pedro Pascal topics, Matt Mercer, Superman, and then some D&D stuff. And my daughter is wanting my attention, so I'm gonna let you kind of get started and settled up, and then I'm gonna go talk to her real quick. I'll be right back.
You want me to jump into the power hour now, or just introduce the topic?
That would be great.
Power hour. Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad you joined us here on the Rantcast, episode 80. And we'll just switch cameras just so that we're not just watching Oh, he's going out of the room. Okay. All right, guys. Well, let's see who we've got here tonight. Bohemius, the Fairweather Man. Welcome, guys. Hope you can hear me well. This is the Rantcast podcast. And of course, TheStrangeBus, my co host, who just had to go do his family duties. He, of course, can be found at TheStrangeBus on Twitch. Doesn't get live as much as he used to because of scheduling stuff, but you can check out his old work. And especially, you can check him out on YouTube, TheStrangeBus. The Bus of Discord is not. You thought you had a co host. I know. Come back. Well, we have a lot to talk about. So you guys have probably seen my many, many videos now on XSC3 Home of HeroQuest fans on um, GenCon. So we've learned some new things, and maybe you guys have seen it. I'm not gonna. I don't know. I kind of don't want to show the spoilers, but I think you all know what I'm talking about. Joe Manganiello was front and center. He was the man of the hour. He was the celebrity special guest at Gen Con at Avalon Hill. He signed his autographs. I got a foam sword for him to sign. I got a mythic box for him to sign. He was so proud of himself, talking about how he grew up playing HeroQuest before he got into D&D and his friendship with Max Dunbar and all that. Well, what we discovered was, check this out, just as StrangeBus gets back in, Joe Manganiello, the man himself, the Dragon Man, Joe Manganiello. Um, there's a little bit of a flaw in his quest book. So Eudoxio was the first one I saw pointing this out. Several people noticed it, and I guess it just didn't quite register with me. Like AshQuest was talking about it, lots of people were talking about it on Discord. How all of a sudden the dragon's stats are like way lower than they were before. And I was kind of like, okay, well, I'm thinking back to what Doug Hopkins was saying, in HeroQuest, his goal was to make every expansion like not just the idea that you'd play the game system, play through 14 quests or 10 quests if you're playing First Light and then play the expansion. It was like, no, you get the book out and you play with brand new basic characters. And so I was like, oh, okay, this makes a little bit of sense. They're knocking down the difficulty just to make it so that it's balanced for a new group. But then Eudoxio was saying, oh, actually, if you flip back like one page in the booklet, you'll see the dragon stats are just copied and pasted from the previous boss that you fought. So probably when they were printing, they just copied and pasted. So it's going to be quite an anticlimax where you're like, oh my gosh, this even bigger bad guy we got to fight, and it's the same as the last bad guy. So more recently, Michael on the Avalon Hill Discord confirmed that is indeed what happened. So similar to when Return of the Witch Lord came out. So StrangeBus, I got you a copy of Return of the Witch Lord. In the first printing of that expansion.
Okay. Well, thanks.
Yeah, the first printing of that book that I got you there, there were like 2 doors missing. So I mean, I think you could still play the quest, but
oh, you're talking about that one, the holographic one there. I
the one with the
came
skull.
in. And I was still adjusting my mic, and I was like, "Wait, you didn't have to get me anything." No, okay.
We got him a new car. Just look under your chair.
I was like, what?
There's
no,
a gold brick.
We still have to open the other 3 expansions.
Never gonna get through these. Just like a delivery for Mr. Bus. Mr. Bus, we've got a HeroQuest, and this like back it up. He's like, deet, 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 deet. You just get pelted with boxes. It's like, oh man. No. Return of the Witch Lord is probably by far my favorite of all the expansions that they've released for HeroQuest. It was the most memorable. Now I haven't replayed it since then, but there was a couple of quests. I think there's 2 different quests in the remake where there were supposed to be like 2 doors, but they got rid of one of the doors. So you could still technically play through the quest. It's just going to be harder because you're forced to take a certain route. So very early in the printing, they added the doors that were missing because people noticed.
Brand new car.
And they re-released it.
No, it's a brand new camera.
There you go.
Camera doesn't work.
Frozen. Well, but the thing is, what if you were one of these people that bought Return of the Witch Lord, paid full price for it, and you've got the old book? Well, you could go online and print out the correction, Or you could write to or email Hasbro Consumer Care and say, hey, look, I've got the erroneous booklet. I mean, I guess you could just get your magic marker out and change it. But to me, they should send you a fix. That's what I think they should do. So they're right now. Michael is commenting on that in the Discord, saying, "Okay, we see the error. It's very early in the process. We're going to try to get the correction in there quickly." And then people are asking, "Well, what are you going to do about the people that already have the erroneous one?" It's like, well, I don't know. Well, we're talking about it. They're having meetings about it. Now, for all you collectors out there, this is what you live for, right? The error in the card, the printing error, the rare thing, that's what you want, right? Because everybody else is going to have the corrected version from here on. So you want the broken one. But since it's a game, I mean, you want to play it the right way. So it's like, okay, when you get to the dragon, his stats are actually higher, and so people are like sharing that online. So like, but yeah, he moves slower. He's got less attack, less defense, less body points. His mind points are the same. But actually, the two characters, minor spoiler, they have almost exactly the same spell loadouts, except the dragon has like one extra spell, and one of his other existing spells has like a little gimmick to it. But yeah, so probably they were just rushing through it. But I'm surprised they must have like retypeset the whole thing, and that's why they made the error. But the other thing we noticed, difficulty wise, there were lots of, and we kind of joked about it when we were playing Crypt or Perpetual Darkness on the HeroQuest fan stream, because my players took to going Joe whenever they ran across something that was a little bit screwy or annoying. So empty treasure chests, man, that guy loved empty treasure chests. Like you'd find a treasure chest, 9 times out of 10 it's going to be empty. You're like Joe, but the way he sets it up is when you finally find a treasure chest that has something in it, it's just like yes. You get like tons of gold. So it's like, okay, he took the gold out of all the chests and put it into like one basically. Well, in the new version, they've gotten rid of a lot of the empties, so you get more gold. So that's okay if you're playing with an early, you know, group of heroes. That's more gold you can spend on armor, weapons, potions, and so on. So some people would say that was a great fix. I think Jacer specifically was just like, yeah, thank goodness. But the dragon nerf, no, people were not buying that. I mean, I think in the original version they were saying this dragon seems a little weak, like he should be a little bit stronger. So one thing in StrangeBus, I'm trying to think if you were around for a lot of the boss battles, like in Frozen Horror. Um,
Yeah, well, I
a
remember
few.
battling the Yeti. It
Oh
wasn't a
yeah,
Yeti. It was one of the boss battles. Yeah.
yeah. Early.
Um.
Well, yeah. The problem with Frozen Horror is even some of the basic monsters are basically like boss level. But one thing that we noticed was you were gathering all your strength and all your power. Some of the boss battles were a little anticlimactic. Like you get a couple lucky rolls and you won. Like really? Like he didn't even get to use all his magic. You just like killed him. So one thing that they've started to do in these other expansions is have multi-stage monsters. So just like in video games, you think you destroyed him. Oh, that was just his first form. His second form comes out. Of course, if you do that too much, that can get cliched. It's like, oh, of course, we're not going to kill him. But I mean, you use all your magic on him the first time, and then the second time you gotta beat him with your fists or something. Oh,
Well,
there's
I always
Jacer.
felt like
Yeah, go
maybe
ahead.
making a different, like maybe making an alternative. Like if you take it down a certain number of body points, like doing a, like maybe it gives you the opportunity to make two attacks instead of one or something like that. I've always like thought about having like that idea, like changing the structure of the monster.
Hmm.
So
Like a
might be
desperation
similar to
move.
like the form thing, but like yeah, or making it difficult for the player to take it down, I suppose.
Yeah.
But
Because
um,
some would
or
say, I mean, hey, if you threw all your stuff at him and you just got a good roll, I mean, why not celebrate that victory? But yeah, other people are like expecting a big epic fight and then they don't get it, and they're like, ah, come on.
just give it like 30 body points, and then like
It's like, well, we're just gonna have to just pace ourselves on this one. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Jacer defended
Yeah,
himself
you
a little bit.
just call the monster. You're fucked.
Professor Token Taker. That was Carnival. It's like
Right.
we're gonna tell you, he's gonna take your tokens. It's just you're gonna have to ask mom for more change. Jacer says, just saying that the empty chest needed flavor. Well, no, I'm with you on that. And if you look at the older quests, that's how it was. Like the treasure chest would be empty, but then you found some treasure in the bookcase next to it, or it would be empty, but there'd be a trap, or I don't know. There would be just something. It wouldn't be predictable. Was the thing. Even 1d6 gold scattered in a looted chest is better than generic this chest is empty. Yeah. Well, because according to the game rules, the chest is empty wastes one of your 4 searches, right? You have 4 heroes, each can search the room one time. So the first guy gets nothing. Second guy draws a card. Third draws a card. Fourth draws a card. Now, those 3 cards could be hazards or wandering monsters, right? One thing that I was thinking of, and I haven't really implemented this yet, my idea was when you get a wandering monster, what if there's a bounty on that wandering monster's head? So if you killed him, you get gold. So it's like still getting a reward, but you got to work for it, right? And maybe not every single monster because otherwise it's going to be predictable once again.
Right.
Bohemia says, but there is a reason why the dragon is not pumped in stats, but I don't want to spoil it here. Wait, what? Bohemius, you're going to have to send me a private message.
Are we talking about the dragon?
This isn't like some joke at Joe's expense, I hope. We've mended fences with him. He did write I will have my revenge on the box though.
So I forgot to ask you, Kurgan.
Yeah.
Because you were talking about Gen. We talked a little bit about GenCon and stuff like that. But I got to see some of the videos. I got to listen to that audio only. Send me that audio only stuff. So overall, how was your experience? Because like I said, you didn't get to do like an official interview this year.
Yeah.
Because you had there were PR people.
It would have destroyed lesser men. Yeah. I was very, very disappointed in that. I was very disappointed in that they basically just cut everyone off. Because there was a PR person basically monitoring Joe Manganiello, and because his quest was being focused on, I guess they just must have put a blanket policy like, okay, people are going to ask about his stuff, no interviews, no sit down recording with even with Doug or with Patrick, who are cleared for PR, talk to people. It's like nope. So that person is there with Joe. As soon as Joe leaves, they leave. So no asking the person for like extra. It's like, can we get them on the phone? Can we get permission to talk about other stuff? It's like, nope, nothing. And you could tell the Avalon Hill guys were like, sorry, like we didn't want this. This is just how it is. We just got to abide by it. It's like, okay. The good part of it was though, because of that, some of the pressure was off. Like, of course, my mind is like, worrying, like trying to detect, how when you're listening to someone very intently, you're trying to get every word they say. I was much more focused on every little thing that they would say, like try to remember it, like talk to the other guys. Okay, he said this, right? He said this, right? Because we're not like jotting it down. It's all just memory. But it was more having individual conversations with the guys because Doug invited us to basically a private game with a quest that he had written just for us. And we were sitting down, and most of our regulars, so Ribby, Rob, myself, I'm trying to think, was Angus in it? Amalgamash was watching because he had to leave. But he was sitting there kind of forlorn in the corner. Doug's like, here, if you've got to go, why don't you take some games with you? And he just like grabbed a big stack of games and just like shoved it into his hands. I was like, oh man, because I didn't walk away with any free games, but I mean, I wasn't jealous because I'm like, okay, last year I got a free game, year before that I got a free game. They didn't look like they had as much this time, so in some ways they didn't give us as much as we had gotten. We were very spoiled before. And I knew it was a temporary thing. I mean, Doug was like very apologetic. He's like, listen, start getting your next interview ready because we're going to have a great interview next time. start crafting your questions. It's gonna be different. Like, okay. And last year, I remember they were giving away the Adventure Design Kit pads, which we were really proud of. Like, we designed these, little flyers that you've got your blank, quest grid and everything, and it's branded with the colors of First Light. You flip it over, you've got the caverns board. You can make quests for that for the first time. But they didn't have enough. They'd only printed out like a few. There was some snafu with the printers, and so they were basically just
Right.
like, all you influencer guys, here you go, and now we're out. Like, it kind of sucked. And I was just like, well, what if someone hypothetically were to scan these and put them online? And they're just like, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say anything against it, Like, okay, so we did that. But this time, man, they had just stacks of those things. The Adventure Design Kit, and they weren't just giving away like a sheet. Like, it looked like you're supposed to tear off the sheet, put it with your dice and leave. It's like, no, just take the whole pad. And Rob, like, he was there, and they were just like shoving like stacks. They're like, we got to get rid of this. Here, take like 10 more. So when people were asking me for swag at the end of the convention or after the convention, I had just stacks and stacks of pads. I still do. I have like, I think I got 13 of them originally. 13 of them as opposed to like one last year or maybe two the previous year. But the things that people really wanted, so they had made this cardboard GM screen, and it was kind of weird. It was like oddly shaped as if it were like a scroll that had been burned. It survived a fire, and it had like little cryptic clues on it. It was really cool looking. But man, everybody wanted that, and I only grabbed two of them. And I thought I grabbed three, but I only grabbed two. And so I mailed one out, and I'm like, I'm down to my last one already. Like, shoot, because everyone's like asking for it. So I was like scanning it. Rob was scanning his, putting it out there. And again, this is like the kind of stuff that like 2 years ago we never even would have thought of doing, because it's like, oh, this will, make Avalon Hill freak out. Hasbro will come after us, and it's just like, no, this is meant to be free. We know people are scalping it, first of all, so just, I mean, give it to the people, the people who want it, right? So it's like, okay. But what they did say more recently is that, okay, so the GM screens everybody wanted and couldn't get, there weren't enough. They had these flyers for, basically it was like artwork of the Rat and Candle Tavern, which is Joe Manganiello's. Like, his quest begins in the Rat and Candle Tavern. So it's like the bard is playing music. It's like an advertisement for his concert, and you flip it over and it's like the menu. Like, you can order grog and like food and stuff like you would have like in the quest. And there weren't enough of those. There were copies of the quest, but the quest had an errata on it, so it didn't say what the Wandering Monster was. So Doug took my copy and he got a magic marker out and he wrote Wandering Monster, Goblin, Undead. And then he got another sheet out and he wrote Wandering Monster, deal 1 body point to Kurgan. So if I'm in the quest, apparently I'll lose a body point. So because he kept joking about how, like, oh, I got to kill Kurgan, I got to kill him in the quest, always coming after me. So it's kind of a recurring joke. And also, if you're one of Zargon's minions and you mouth off to him, well, you lose a body point. So anyway, but the good news that we heard is Michael, the PR guy who is doing Patrick's old job. So he's supposed to communicate with us on the Avalon Hill Discord. He was saying, like, first of all these like issues we've been talking about with the companion app, like things they need to do to improve it. He's starting like basically a whole list of like, what do they call that? Not push requests or pull requests. What do they call that in coding when it's like here's the list of bugs you need to fix, and then they do each one. I don't know, whatever those are called.
Like they're doing like they're working on like some patch notes or what?
Yeah, yeah. And when they update it, they're going to actually tell us what was fixed each time, because before they just said bugs fixed, features added. Like, okay, well, that doesn't tell me anything, you know. On Sunday they
I
didn't
mean,
want to do
that's at least
satisfaction.
something.
Yeah. Well, Rob is right. If you go to Gen Con, the best thing to do to look for like free stuff is on Sunday, because they got to pack everything up, and anything they can get rid of, they'll get rid of. But yeah, they were just giving like stacks of stuff to Rob. So if I run out, I'm like, just talk to Rob Champ. He's your man. Oh, thank you, Bohemius. Yeah, I'll have to check and see. But I can't say it on the stream, right? What you're sending me. Oh, if I do that, you'll see it. Okay, never mind. Um, I only have some pads. Okay, well, here's the thing that we were told. So Michael was saying, okay, Spiel Essen is coming up. Not only are they going to have more of the swag at Spiel Essen, so you got to fly out to Germany to get it. There is this program, and it's going to sound like a promotion when I'm saying it, but it's not. I mean, I don't get anything sponsored for it. But they have this thing called the WPN, the Wizards Play Network, and I feel like this is something you might know about StrangeBus, but you know how you go to these local game shops and they always very prominently display, hey, we have Magic the Gathering, we're playing Magic the Gathering tournaments, you know, uh, Wizards of the Coast is also D&D, so it's like, oh, we have D&D nights. So these certain stores get these promotions, similar to how Warhammer has their own stores. Like, oh, okay, you got to stock, a certain percentage of our content and run promotions and stuff. Well,
Right.
normally you think of Wizards Play Network, okay, Magic the Gathering, Dungeons and Dragons. But last year they announced that Wizards of the Coast through the WPN network was going to start demoing HeroQuest. They were going to have Avalon Hill gaming nights specifically for HeroQuest at these stores. So the store was going to get a copy of the game to show to customers. Now it doesn't say they'd stock the game, but that wouldn't make any sense if they didn't. But they'd have a game to demo, and they would have like bags of dice. So we talked about the Mountain Dew dice or the piss dice, as we called them because of the color. They were giving away packages of those. So actually, Sika Hashem, one of our regulars who we got to meet at GenCon for the first time, like in the flesh, cool guy. He actually went to one of these stores and he volunteered. He's like, "Oh, you're doing this? I'll do it." So he was Zargon. He ran the game for some people at the store, and of course they gave him a pile of dice to take home. But anyway, last year, like I called every local game shop I could think of in my area, even ones that were part of the Wizard Play Network, and they were like, "I have no idea. Like, I don't think we're doing that. I don't know. I don't know what that is." Like nobody knew anything. And I guess it was poor communication because what was supposed to happen is those stores were supposed to opt in to the Avalon Hill play nights, and they would send all that stuff to them, all those promotional materials. Now, some people were speculating, well, there's certain premier stores, so in the big cities or the big prime locations, those were the ones that would get the stuff, and these other smaller stores in the outlying cities just would get nothing. So we shouldn't have expected anything. Well, this time Michael is saying no, it's going to be different. It shouldn't matter if you're a premier store or not. We want you to call the store and tell them, hey, we want the Avalon Hill Gaming Night. We want HeroQuest, games at your store. And I talked to my local shop here. I don't know if I'll be able to actually do it because of my work schedule, but I said, like, what if I just like showed up to volunteer to demo the game? They'd be like, well, we could always use more people. Now you might think, well, why are you going to work for free? They should pay you, right? Well, I do this for fun, and if there's some swag involved, I don't mind. I'm playing HeroQuest anyway, right? So I'm just telling everybody, hey, if you there's a website you can actually look this stuff up. It's the WPN store locator. Sikashem has posted about it. I'm going to see if I can grab the link and throw it in the notes. But I would just encourage people, if you want your local game shop, I feel this is something they did back in the day. Like, ask for Spider-Man at your comic book store, and they would do it.
Sponsoring the latest and greatest.
Yeah. I guess it's one of those things where it's like their advertising budget, I guess, or their staff is not good enough to do all this, so they need us to do it. But I don't know. It kind of feels kind of cool to take it into your own hands. Okay, I'm gonna have to look for it again. Okay, where was it? Okay, it's locator.wizards.com. There it is. Yep. Okay, so anyway, but the point is, at least from based on what Michael is saying, there'll be more of those GM screens. Oops. There'll be more of those GM screens. I don't know about the Bard Flyer, the quest. I'm sure they'll play the quest. So it's called Dread on the Horizon. It's a rather easy, rather short quest, but I like it because it gives Zargon like some instructions saying like, oh, you can do this, or here's another suggestion, you could do this. So it's not just one thing. It's like, oh, if it's you're running out of time or it's too easy, do this. So it gives you suggestions. And then of course eventually, as a Zargon player, you realize, hell, I can react to things on the fly, and it just make it feel seamless. You have those skills, those imaginative skills. But a lot of people get nervous, they don't know what to do, or they feel like, I don't know, it cheapens the victory a little bit, so you want to have it like a certain difficulty level. But I mean, I feel like that's something that you should do anyway, because just like I was saying earlier with Doug's idea, what if you've played 20 other quests before this adventure? Your character's going to be loaded with gear. You're going to have the best weapons, the best armor, have lots of potions. It's going to be hard to like even scratch those heroes. So you got to come up with ways to still make it challenging, still make it interesting. Maybe the goal is not just to kill all the monsters. Maybe you got to prevent the hostages from getting killed or something. I don't know. There's different ways to do it. Or you zap everybody and they lose their stuff. That seems cheap. But if you're starting with a brand new set of heroes and you set the difficulty too high, now you've got to knock the quest down and make it easier, so it isn't just so frustrating that nobody wants to play, right? You got to come up with the happy medium. Other bands do promotions and such. Oh, other games. Yeah, exactly, Rob. So if HeroQuest is getting to the point where it's getting in on these promotions, I think that's a good thing. I mean, you could say, oh, the game isn't selling well enough, so they're doing this to try to boost sales by giving free crap away. Or you could say, oh, it's so popular that now they can afford to spend more money on it to market it. Whereas before it was just like, tell everybody about HeroQuest. Now it's like, oh, play HeroQuest at your local store. Because a lot of these games, I mean, I walk into these game shops and it's like, I have no idea if these games are any good. A lot of them are like $100 or more. So yeah, I go online, I read, go on to Board Game Geek, see what people are saying about it. And it's tough because you've got people who are fanboys who just are like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever. There's nothing wrong with it. And then you play it and you're like, what? Or you get people that bash it, but maybe they're nitpicking or something, or I don't know. There's some other reason why they don't like it. So it's like you want to be able to play it yourself, get a taste of it. Not everybody can go to GenCon. It's $150 for a 4-day pass, and you got to pay for everything else. Whereas I think these events are free. If there is any cost, it's minimal to you as a player. You sit down for an hour or 2 hours, play a game, see what you think, walk away with a door prize. Seems like a good idea. But anyway, I'm hoping that it's a success this time, because it was a miserable failure for a lot of us. I mean, people in the big cities got to do it. Seek is lucky. He's in a big coastal town, so he got to live it up. I think Inspector Retro, I think he got like 3 packs of dice or something. So wherever he's at, he was in a good location. But I'm in the boonies, so by comparison. I don't know.
All in all,
Yeah,
I would because I don't want to. Like I said, I want to break up the experience. I didn't want to interrupt too much, so don't think I'm not listening.
Thanks
but all in all, minus the lack of being able to get to really grab anybody's opinion or record anything, did you think your overall experience at Gen Con was still pretty good?
Oh yeah, I didn't answer that, did
I?
I
mean,
yes.
No,
I think
but like I said before, I didn't want to like.
Did you have a good time?
So,
no. Do I look like I had a good time? No, I did. I had.
For what you've been describing, and like you delved into a whole bunch of other stuff, but like it seems like you still got some good stuff out of it.
I still did. And yes, they made it. They did the best they could. It was, in some ways, it was better than previous trips. I mean, in terms of just getting to sit down with Carmine and have like a full interview where like I would ask him tough questions and he would just like twist it right around and like slam me on the table with his judo. It's like that was cool. That was really awesome. I couldn't believe it was happening. It's like I felt like I had so much access to, he's just gonna, and he would like give me like, puzzles to solve and riddles and stuff. I mean, I love that. This was a totally different type of thing. But I mean, there was just a lot of like candid personal conversations with all the team members. And some of them had switched to different roles. So it was like Tess Hogan was no longer working with HeroQuest. It's like, oh, really? She'd been with us this whole time and now she's going over to Talisman. And it's like, okay, Sik Hashem's going to be happy about that because he loves Talisman maybe more than HeroQuest. We could forgive him for that. But it's like, okay, but then there's a new person. Like, oh, okay, so we have to get to know this new person, find out what they think about it. Patrick was the marketing guy. He's going into a different role. So now Michael is that guy. So we're talking to Michael and finding out, okay, what's his way of doing things? And it was just really fun. And then talking to Doug again and seeing more of Doug's creative process. Like he couldn't tell us the same things, but he could show us, if that makes sense. Like it reminds me of those spy movies, where they start doing something else, like they turn the music on or they start playing chess and then they start talking about the conversation. Like it's like that. It's like, ooh, I'm about to hear something really interesting here. Like, yeah. So that was really fun. And last year was when I met a lot of these guys for the first time. Ribby and I talked a lot, but actually hanging out, and Rob Champ and Angus, and we got to meet Ash again. And of course, we had done, the streams with him, but it was, it's a little bit different. Like when you're on a show, like you and I are friends, but a lot of us, there's banter, it's very professional, kind of detached, but just hanging out and just hearing what people really think about stuff. It's a little nicer, a little more intimate. So I like that we got to kind of do that with fellow fans, and we got to run around and play laser tag, and the guns actually worked this time. So I think,
Oh, that's good.
yeah,
There you
yeah,
go.
because I complained about this before. So the laser tag that they had at GenCon last year, we were super pumped. I convinced all these guys to participate, and it was just so disappointing. Their equipment was bad. You hardly got to play at all. It was terrible. So we went
Um,
went off
I
site and lived the
it
dream.
reminds me of. I forgot to tell you this too. It reminds me of
Yeah,
because I was going to bring that up. I went to Fun City
fun city.
in Burlington. I don't know
Okay.
if anybody knows where Burlington, Iowa is. It is a kind of remote town. It's a bigger. I guess they would relatively call it a city, but it's not. It's a town, small town. Um, and they are just now like bringing it up to date.
Huh.
Like if you went there about a year ago, you would find the old Pizza Hut logo still there from like the 90s.
Nice.
They still have had a building there. Yeah, a lot of old restaurants didn't renovate.
Hmm.
It was very old school there. Um, and the place just felt like you were driving through and you took a trip through time, like about
Flashback.
30 years in the past.
Like Rod
So,
Serling's gonna walk out with his cigarette and tell you you're in the Twilight Zone.
yeah. So I went to
Step
Fun
back
City, took
into
my
the
kids there,
'90s.
and they had a laser tag thing there. Like Fun City's this big thing. It's got an arcade. It's got a hotel in it. It's nothing crazy. But it is a big building that has like the hotel resort. It's hooked to a casino, like,
Ah,
and but like the Fun City side is for like the children.
yeah.
It's very it feels very suspect, but it's a pretty nice place to go. And we went there, uh, and it was very nice. But I was like, let's go do the laser tag. And you walk in to do the laser tag, and they hook you up with these really old school looking harnesses.
I love those
And the
big
guns
heavy
look like
guns.
they're straight out of like, yeah, they're like straight out of the early 90s, like back when laser tag was hot,
Like
like
photon
hot and
and
new.
all that.
Yeah, it was because it had like the screen on the top, and it would like you'd hit it, and it'd go boom, ah, and like it would have like the the very old school, like monotone,
I love that.
like pre-Microsoft Sam, like it was like the robot starting, like yeah, it was like very old school, and you walked in and everything was neon,
Yes.
like
So
like
good.
it was a dark, pitch black room, but it had the glow in the dark paint.
Yes. I love that stuff.
And
Man,
I instantly turned
are they still open? Can I
7
go?
years old. Yeah, it was like 7 years old. But the
Road
equipment
trip.
was so old. And like the harnesses barely fit. And they like did not click in on, like it was
Little belt.
bad.
Wow.
The guns worked, but like it was that was
Okay.
about the
Okay.
best part. Was we walked in and it felt like you were in like 1987 to 1993, and like it was
Did
like
they?
they didn't give a crap about seizure warnings or anything. Like
No.
back then, they were just like you were getting flashed up and down, and I have epilepsy, so here I was with my kids, and I'm like
Oh shoot.
shielding my eyes,
Oh dang.
holding the gun,
Oh
and
dang.
like I'd wait for the flash to be over, and I still whooped them all because I was like, I used to do this. I used to do this as a hobby, bro. Like I'm like,
Yeah. See, they had the sympathy for you, and you took them down. Okay, I got to ask though. Did they have the fog machine?
no, they had one, but I don't think it worked.
Didn't work.
So, but it was just dark. It was just really dark.
Did
Had like the
they?
blue grid. So it had a blue grid. You had upstairs and downstairs, and it was all like had like the creepy glow in the dark paintings
I love
with
that.
like the
So
what looked
good.
to be like the primitive. It was like primitive, like the primitive style of painting. So like you had like the weird faces, skull, like the weird dragon,
Kind
like
of like a
designs and
kind of
stuff
like a
on it.
haunted house, like
But it
at the
was supposed to be
fair.
entertaining. It was like what like preteens back in the '90s probably would have liked back then. Like like it looks cool, it's
Joe
radical and like stuff.
Manganiello
But
would have loved it probably.
like you walk in like your 6-year-old now is like wondering what kind of nightmare tower they wandered into. Like,
And you
and I'm sitting here going, yeah.
they look over at their dad and suddenly like you're a child as well. Like you just
Yeah,
transform
or like my
magically.
face just starts melting because like it's a horror zone. I'm just, yeah, like the voice gets deeper and darker.
Don't look at it, Marion. Okay, I gotta ask. Did they play
But
the Mortal?
they all
Did
enjoyed it. By the way, no trauma
oh good.
was incurred. So
Yeah, Daddy was cool. Yes, I was.
yeah, it
Did
was.
they play the Mortal
It's pretty
Kombat
cool.
theme song while you were running around?
No, but it's something. It was something
Yeah,
similar. There was
you're
something
mine.
like it was something like it
Techno
was
or
something
something.
very early because they kept like some old school techno in there,
Nice. Because that
just
to
like
me is
some
just
weird beat.
part of the experience. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like
Wow.
some old school hip hop beat that they tried to put in there, and it would only happen when the zone was on. So you turn on, it'd be like
Do do
like something
do
like
do
that.
do
Like
do do
yeah,
do do do. Yeah, the Blade
like
soundtrack.
you'd feel like Pump Up the Jam was about to play, but then it turned into something different.
Everybody plays laser tag now. Dun, dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, dun. Everybody play laser tag now.
Oh, and then they had what I thought was something new, but I guess it was something like super old. They had like it was like a ride, but it was like a virtual roller coaster.
Oh
Like you'd
yeah,
sit in a big old box and it would lift
yeah.
up and the thing would just rotate and spin.
Oh man, I
And
remember
it
when
was
they
like
used to
this
have those at the mall. You like buy a ticket.
it was like the scariest thing I ever experienced because of how old it was. Because it would groan. And like my oldest daughter, the belt didn't tighten all the way
Oh man.
when she got in and we were already dedicated. So like I don't think she was gonna fall out, but like she like would hang and like I had to hold on to her as we would spin.
Shoot.
And I wasn't worried about myself. I was just like, please let the ride stop. I don't want her to fall and become like a tumbling washing machine because there's no emergency stop in here. Like, there's no we're just dedicated to this ride. So
People on the outside just hear these bodies like thumping around inside. Something's gone wrong. Don't wait for it to
yeah,
stop. You
she
like
wanted to go
children.
so bad. And I was like, yeah, but I don't think you want to do that ride. And she was like, yeah, let's go. And then we got in, and the thing closed, and we got that old school screen, and that's how you know it was old because it was like 3D rendering was like brand new.
Yep,
Like,
yep.
you
Like
know,
Toy Story
it was
1.
like no textures. It was like just the 3D image of the coaster,
Okay.
and then you get the air, the fans for the wind,
Yeah.
and then she strapped in, and it wasn't like it was like a belt harness or something like that, but like
Oh yeah.
you buckle in, and then like there would be like a little thing to kind of keep your legs, but she had a gap there, but she met the height requirement, so when we tipped, she would lift out of her seat,
Oh, they didn't have the bar
and
for you to hold on to.
yeah, they didn't have the pull down bar.
Big
It was
metal.
like a belt harness, and
Yeah.
that's
Safety
what like
grandfathered in safety requirements from the previous. Well, that's
yeah.
different. So the one that we had at the mall, it was like it was similar to what you're describing, except it was just I think it was just a video. Like they had like someone had gone on a real roller coaster and just like held a video camera like going through.
Oh
And so
wow.
just in real time while the thing was like shaking around and
Yeah, this thing was calibrated to the rendering. So when the rendering would show it going up, the pod would go up,
yeah,
and then it would come down, and like it would groan and whine, and you'd hear it inside, and like
like it's on its
you,
last
it was
leg.
just yeah. Like I was like, I would hate to be stuck in this thing if it broke down, because
Yeah.
like you're fine, you're in like
They
a
have to get the
cool air, everything feels
jaws of life to
ventilated.
get you out.
You
Like
probably have to,
yeah,
yeah, they have to turn it off, and then probably have to open up the pod. And if you're upside down,
yeah,
like how are they gonna reset it? They have to crank it down to like do that. Like you're just gonna be uncomfortable if that thing breaks.
yeah.
And then God forbid the teenager that was sitting there watching that thing will know how to operate like an emergency crank to get you
Yeah.
down. Like
Minimum
that's why
wage.
I'm always so yeah, I'm always so worried about rides nowadays is because like ain't no kids nowadays know how to like function in like a at least around here in an emergency. So something happens, you're just gambling. Like you're playing with the dice at that point.
Wow.
And that's why I'm like always so worried about like rides like that.
Well,
Something breaks down and like
at
fuck.
least with laser tag, other than getting a seizure, getting a laser into the eye, uh, or maybe running into a wall or getting like butt stroked by somebody, around the corner. Wah! You're probably gonna be okay. But
But that
yeah,
was the fun part about laser tag though, is like you get crazy with people.
yeah.
You knock them down and shoot them over and over again.
I really wanted to smuggle like foam weapons in there, but they were so nice. I was like, I don't want to get anybody in trouble. So it's like, hey, I'm just trying to
Like
save ammo. Like, phew.
back in the day, they used to be a lot harsher about the safety rules though. But like I
No
remember the
running.
kids back in the daycare that we had, like they would go on field trips every now and then, and like we went to go do laser tag, and there was this kid that was brutal at it. He like it was almost like if nobody was watching, he'd curb stomp you before he
Wow.
like took you out. I remember uh he like pushed a couple kids down and would like tag them and run off.
Aw,
And
cheater.
like he'd like hide behind the rear corner, or he'd try to climb the stand and get in trouble for it.
Yeah. Well, in this one they
Yeah,
actually
that would
had
have
an
ended all of our time.
yeah, this one they actually had an upper level. So there were like kids and adults playing. So it was like
Ooh,
but you had these kids, they would just run up the stairs immediately and they would just hide up there and they would just shoot through the windows and I'm like, how am I getting shot? How am I getting shot? And then finally realized, oh, duh, of course. Because I kept running by past
yeah,
the
man.
stairs and it's like, okay, we'll stay up here. We'll play your game. I don't think I placed it all. But it was fun. But there was a Star Wars mode too. So they had multiple rounds. Again, such a
Oh,
contrast from the Gen Con one. A Star Wars mode. So you had the is it the what's the
blaster
stormtrooper
sounds.
rifle? Is the D11? What's it called?
E11's the E11.
E11. I'm thinking of the DL44. Yeah, E11. And then you could hit a button to switch the firing mode. You had two firing modes in every gun. Usually it was just automatic and semi-automatic. But the secondary mode was a thermal detonator. But actually, it was more like the rail detonator from uh, Dark Forces 2. You tag the person with it, and they don't die for like 3 seconds. But when they die, there's like an explosion. So like if somebody is like within like 3 feet of them, they get hit too. So yeah,
According to Rob, you guys took him out.
yeah,
So
Yeah, you guys did, but I apparently I wasn't hitting something. No, I hit people. I don't know what was happening because on your gun they gave you like a call sign, and mine never appeared in the list. So I still don't know how many points I got. But I mean, I shot people and it would say, double kill. It's like, okay, got him. But yeah, you
That would
guys
have
all
been fun
played
to do a Star Wars one.
crack
Speaking of
your
Star
mama,
Wars,
punk.
by the way,
Yeah.
because we were talking about that. Are you good? Are you good? I'm sorry. I'm not
Oh
gonna
yeah, well we
just
did it.
transition
We
without
I've talked so much about Gen Con, I could probably talk for another like 6 to 8 hours about it. But I just wanted to update
because
everybody on the fact that Joe's dragon is out there, but there is an error, and Michael
he
is gung ho.
he whipped out his dragon. Now everybody's seeing it.
Yep, and it's. I swear it was bigger. It's like, okay,
It
we'll
was
fix that
pretty.
for you right now.
Oh, whoa,
Hour.
Bohemians, power 10 minutes. Dude, we've been live for 56 minutes, brother. This is a good transition. What are you talking about? 56 minutes.
It's because you're out of the room. It's like there was a time dilation. Rod certainly walked in. It's like
Yeah.
you left into another
Guy,
dimension, sight and sound, but of mind. His next
guy has
stream.
been giving
What?
me grief since the stream started. I saw that you thought you had a co-host comment. I got your number, Bohemius. I got you.
Yep.
Got you right now.
The RKO coming out of nowhere. Well, people were saying that we were gonna kidnap Bohemius allegedly and take him to Gen Con.
Oh,
It's like their demands are that I play HeroQuest with them. I
that's
must
right.
I must appease them for my safety.
Dude, I wish I could have joined you at Gen Con. That
Oh
would have
man,
been fun. That would have been a fun trip.
the 6 hour ride was a lot. Some people traveled even more than we did. I think Amalgamash, he traveled like 5.5 hours, and he did like a travel log. He recorded himself like more construction, driving through more construction. It's like, oh man,
Like,
and he did it by himself, whereas I
does he
drove with
travel a
people.
lot? Because I was going to say I travel for a living, and like construction's going to be the most
Yeah,
things you
I
see.
I don't know if he was just playing it up for the bit, but he made it sound like he doesn't do a lot of these. So he was just like, and more construction, and I'm gonna stay in this lane hoping that I can hit my exit. And it was entertaining to watch. So good on him. But
Yeah,
but I really liked his stream on Ash Quest because it reminded me of when I went for the first time, just the sense of wonder, like because he'd never been there. And he was just like, I'm checking this out. This is what this is. He's kind of showing. So you're sort of seeing it through his eyes. So it was really good.
right.
And he had the microphone. He brought like me. He brought fancy equipment, and he's standing there with Doug Hopkins. They're cracking jokes. They're doing small talk, and then I'm just like, oh, you don't you? And then and then Doug's like, well, let's go back and talk. Why don't you shut the camera off? And so then it cut, and then it's like a long time later. It's like, yep, even
Oh,
Amalgamash with his charm, he still faced the same restrictions we did. So, but I mean, he was there for a lot of the conversations. So, and he may have heard some things that we didn't hear. So, check him out. But yeah, it was a good time. Yeah, I wish you could have been there. It would have been great, and we'll just have many
I would have
memories.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, my friend Brian. I mean, he said he'd gone to like 9 or 10 of these over the course of I don't know how many years, but it was 2 years ago that he convinced me to go. I'm like, okay, it's a big D&D thing. I know HeroQuest is going to be there, so I'll try to have fun. And I had a great time. The next year I went by myself, but I met all these cool guys. We got to hang out. It almost felt like you're just having a meetup, with friends. I almost in well, I would say I enjoyed our events with friends maybe more than I did the official stuff. I mean, it's like I've seen Joe's Quest already. It was cool to meet him. He was a nicer guy than I thought he would be, bigger fan than I thought. A lot of people said, "Oh, he's just some celebrity that they roped into doing this, for a paycheck." And actually, it was kind of funny because in the Q&A session they had, which I missed most of it. Most of it's on Amalgamash's channel. Check it out. I came in late, but what Joe was basically saying is like, yeah, as an actor, I've done a lot of stuff for paychecks. You can see a lot of my shirtless stuff online if you want. But I mean, some of the stuff he really did enjoy doing and hopes to get to do more of it. So I was like, okay, cool. Yeah. So
All
yeah,
right then.
HeroQuest. Call me the heckler gnome, sir.
Well, I think that was good that you got to see Amalgamash. You got to get some face to face time there, and with
Well,
everybody else.
but you know what's
So for
curious?
all you guys,
What's curious?
what's that?
We always joke about, me and Amalgamash having a fight, right? In a steel cage. He
Yeah,
he mysteriously ducked out before laser tag. He didn't do the LARPing. There's no fighting whatsoever. I didn't even play a quest with him. I'm like, who's he running from? Why is he ducking me? No, we'll just have to get him next time. He had one day to do all his stuff, so I wasn't even sure if we were going to meet up with him. I mean, the way he was
he's
talking
always so
about it,
busy.
yeah, he is. But
That guy.
he squeezed a lot into one day, so we'll get him next time. Yep.
All right.
Now I'm done.
So speaking of Star Wars stuff, they've got a couple of things. I don't know if you have an article for this,
I do. There's many, but
but
I
if
have
you want
one.
to refer me to an article, that way we can just open it now. I think in a couple or some previous rantcasts we spoke about um, the settlement or the issue with Disney and Gina Carano. If anybody is unfamiliar about that, because this is Star Wars nonsense. Again, we have to kind of bring people up to speed. Um, she was the Cara Dune character in The Mandalorian,
Yeah.
and she faced some pretty harsh scrutiny because she made some unprofessional tweets. Which, once again, coming from my point of view, yes, they were pretty unprofessional. They were not something I would be tweeting if I was a public figure, only for professionalism purposes, because it makes me look bad.
Yeah.
But that's just me. A lot of people nowadays like to know what their actors and actresses are eating, how much sleep they get per day, whether they're right or left wing people, what they
Who they're
do
sleeping
on
with. Yeah.
their break, yeah, who they're sleeping with.
Yeah.
I mean, that's been a thing since before the internet, but like usually there was like a cliche or a clique of people that would do it. They were a little bit more cliche, but
Yeah.
nowadays it's everybody because
Yeah.
they,
It's not just your
a lot
tabloid
more
journalists
stuff.
and paparazzi. It's like everybody.
Me, I technically don't have an interest in it. So when people start getting personal, after start getting personal, I tend to lose interest. Um, so I don't believe she should have lost her job over it, but it did make her look very unprofessional. However, and I'll bring this article up here in a minute. Me and Kurgan were talking about this. I think I did bring this same thing up.
Hmm.
Pedro Pascal, which is the leading character of plays the Mandalorian in
What's
the
the
show.
Mandalorian character's name?
Din Djarin, I
Din
think his
Djarin.
name
Yeah,
is.
that's right.
Yeah. Um, but he also pretty much did some of the same shit, and
Yeah.
not shortly after, maybe a couple years after it was starting. He started to get a lot more popular, not just during The Mandalorian, but for his other roles. He
Yeah.
got some additional roles playing in other films.
Oh yeah.
He
Remind
kind
me.
of got this role as people. I guess the tabloids were calling him the daddy of the internet. So he really got this thick skull, and proceeded to do something while he's under this big spotlight. By the way, and is starting to do the same thing. Just kind of go on to interviews and tell people his real world political views.
Yeah.
Um, and whether this is real or fake, to me, it's a very bad look for anybody. But this kind of proves my point
Yeah.
about how it's unfair treatment, it's a bias, and to me, for anybody who wants to that argument that I think Star Wars is kind of going in a good direction, I think it's going in a bad direction because it's not. We're worried about what our actors and actresses are doing, and um, certain companies are taking certain liberties with actors, and it's more apparent now because we can see it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they're not like we're not worried about the content we're making. We're worried about what we're doing in the real world. So, it's kind of something I wanted to bring up. But I guess now she's doing a settlement with Disney. Is that correct?
This is very controversial with a lot of people, but yeah, she's settled with Disney. So originally she sued them for unfair treatment, hostile work environment, sex discrimination. Um, Disney tried to dismiss the case. They tried to like get out of it like 10 different ways, and then all of a sudden, oh, she's settling. So a lot of people were
Oh yeah, so she
reacting to
filed
it,
the.
saying, "Oh no, this is wrong. This is bad," because now, there's no discovery, so they're not going to see, "Oh, Disney has been doing this for years." They're going to keep on doing it, and they're going to pretend like everything's fine and here's some money and go away, like kind of thing. But I don't know.
Yeah,
Go
so
ahead.
according to the article that I was going to, which was you referred me to Yahoo Entertainment.
Yep. Yep.
Um, Carano filed the lawsuit in 2024 claiming wrongful termination
That's what it was.
and political discrimination after her removal from The Mandalorian. One of her social media posts had compared. I guess you can read this, and like I said, we don't have any, we keep this pretty neutral here.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, I don't tend to want to take sides on our podcast for that reason, but not for safe reasons, but just the fact that it's not what we do here.
No.
So, referring to the article here, it's referring to a. Let me get down back to the Republican to being Jewish during the Holocaust.
Not quite what it
That's
was
right.
doing, but that's how a lot of people took it. Yeah.
But her lawsuit sought reinstatement and at least $75,000 in damages, and I guess Elon Musk funded her legal fees.
Yeah.
And
you think, okay, he's a rich guy throwing his money around as usual, but the reason that sort of makes sense is because this all happened on Twitter back when it was Twitter. And
thanks, Watercon.
after he bought
Appreciate it.
Yeah, we got the bus back. Yeah, so Elon Musk buys Twitter.
I can't suppose it'll be the first time or the last time that I'll probably be taking a break, but I appreciate everybody for their patience. Speaking of which, like I said, just a lot of personal life stuff. So, sorry for that interruption there, Kurgan.
No, it's okay. And I think Elon Musk said something like, and again, it's like we can't even mention him on on my Discord anymore because people use that as a launch into political screeds, and it's like no, no, we're not trying to do that. Back when it was just the memes and stuff, it was different. But anyway, yeah, he basically just said, okay, he buys the platform and is like, oh, anybody that got like basically bullied off the platform, like I'll pay your legal fees. And they think, oh yeah, he's not really going to do it. But in her case, I guess he did. I don't know how much money she got from him to go to court, but a lot of people were just like, yeah, burn Disney down. Like we're mad at him for 100 other things anyway. Let's see what happens.
So according to this, the day of the filing, Carano wrote, and this is once again a quote from the article, Carano wrote on X, "And the truth shall set you free." She later released a full statement, which reads that she came to an agreement with Disney/Lucasfilm, which believe is the best outcome for all parties involved. Hope this brings some healing to the Force, which is really weird to say. Anyway, Carano thanked Musk, her legal team, and fans, saying she's ready to move on and continue working in the arts. So I believe that if you're truly going to sue somebody, you should probably go ahead and take the full thing. But according to our country, we don't particularly do that. We just do it to waste people's time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's my stance on it. I'm gonna keep it pretty simple there, because this has been going on for a long time. Yeah. Like the issues and stuff. Not really the lawsuit, but yeah, it's like you were going to say, because if she had proceeded to it, at least we get a discovery. We'd know what was going, like a little bit more what was going on.
Yeah, their policy.
Not that everybody needs to pry, but yeah, I mean, like it's one of those things where
employ a lot of people. Yeah.
Once again, this was a Twitter statement, right? Like, there's a lot of people on Twitter, but not everybody and their mother could be on Twitter, and not everybody's following her.
Right.
But you got one of your biggest leaders.
She got fired because she said something bad. Like, yeah,
or is making defense. Yeah. And you've got one of your biggest, pretty much leading people making, like, kind of the opposite political rants, and they're completely fine with it.
Yeah.
Like, and some of them are kind of offensive.
Yeah.
Like, and like it still looks unprofessional. It's to me, it's throwing your personal views out there, attacking fans, which is what he's doing. Pascal is like literally like some people are like, which I once again I don't like an actor based on their political views. It's kind of weird because you'll never know that most people will never meet them for longer than 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And like you'll never sit down and have lunch with them.
Mm-hmm.
You'll never get to know them on a very personal level.
No.
So, so personally, I could give a shit less what their political views are.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, they work technically for me.
Yeah.
As far as I sit on the couch and they perform. They perform something, and if I like it, that's great. If I don't like it, then I don't want to see them again most of the time. So
get renewed. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. That's pretty much it. Like the only reason I give a shit about most actors or actresses is the fact that they play a role that I enjoy watching, and they do a darn good job at it. It's their job.
Yeah.
Their job is to pretend to be other people, and like that's it. That's on the simplest case. That's the bottom line. For them, it's something else. There's a deeper meaning to it. There's much more to it. It's feeling something. It's putting yourself in somebody else's shoes. For fictional people who play more fictional roles, it's getting into a whole nother world. Great. If you do it well, and that's what gets you into doing it well, then when I sit down and watch it, it'll be believable. Otherwise, I could give a fuck less what you had for dinner, or what you do in the morning, or what hair care treatments you do, or I don't care. I really don't. And so now there is a line. I was going to bring this up with you, but there was a line. If anybody knows what because I was reading something and watching some stuff today about some really people who did some appalling shit and got caught for it, and it ruined like some TV shows. I think we talked about
It's Nickelodeon,
like Dan Schneider and stuff like that, Nickelodeon. But there was also stuff with like Danny Masterson. He was the guy who played like Hyde on that '70s show.
Oh,
I guess that whole cast, besides Soder Grace, did some really nasty stuff.
Dang.
And they're all like Scientologists and stuff like that. It's like really weird stuff. And like, I don't.
You're right. There've been a few things. So there was that, and was it Smallville? The one of the.
Yes, Alison Mack. She ran a cult.
Yeah.
That had some sex trafficking and stuff. Yes.
Yikes.
Now, when you get into stuff like that, like people who do some really deplorable shit,
Bill Cosby,
then it kind of does ruin the show for me a little bit. And like, I don't particularly want to go back to something that I used to watch and like enjoy watching.
At a certain point,
and then like have to look at.
To go back.
It's really hard. Yeah, it's really hard. Some people can do it, and if that's the case, fine. I don't particularly want to pay for a service and give royalties to somebody who like. Is a scumbag piece of trash, like a full-on scumbag piece of trash. So, I would say if that's the case, just pirate it. I mean,
not to be a devil's advocate here, but okay, so the people who wanted to cancel Gina Carano, for example, if what they thought she did was so bad that we need to just like make sure she never works again, like. But no, you're phrasing it as
very different.
No, you opt yourself
that's very
out.
different.
You're like, listen, I can't watch the Cosby Show anymore. I feel uncomfortable, so I'm just not going to do it. Right?
Because that's just somebody making that's like if you get mad and you say something like really nasty, like in front of like 100 people, and they're all like, "Whoa, bro, you took that too far." Like 10 to 1, you could turn around the next day and say, "I'm sorry, I got really mad. It's whatever." Yeah. Now there are certain things that you say that are probably crossing the line. Some people won't like you for it, but to me, that doesn't make you an unforgivable human being. It doesn't like some people it does, and I think there really is an actual like there's people who are opinionated, and then there's a factual line that can be drawn, and I think that's a factual line. Like some people think that like. You have to be perfect, or you can't make a mistake, or you can't not say anything wrong.
They're putting you as a role model.
I think that's kind of bullshit. Yeah, that's kind of bullshit. Like you're a human being. If most people are studied under the microscope forever, they're gonna fuck up every now and then.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like I said, and at that point, it's whatever. I don't care. the biggest point though is if in the case of Danny Masterson, he ran he did some really nasty stuff to women.
He abused his
And like
position to, yeah,
yeah,
exploit people. Well, even
and then he like
the guy that did
he
Ren and
did some
Stimpy,
drug running and
the guy that did Ren and Stimpy,
yeah.
like I'm just like what? Like it's mind-boggling. It's like yeah, it ruins my enjoyment. I can't. I mean, even though you could say, well, okay, the franchise, he didn't do everything. It went on without him, but it was just like, dang, what a stain on the
But
thing.
yeah, that's what I'm saying is like when you do stuff like that and you bring people like and he brought people into his crowd like Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis were involved. All sorts of people were involved in that. And, like it's one of those things
Wow.
where you kind of like you the whole cast there, most of the whole cast, except for Topher Grace. I guess according to him, he like did his role, he acted, and then when everybody else wanted to go out and party and do those things, he like literally went to his car right afterwards and left. He didn't party, he didn't stay, he didn't get to know a lot of that cast. Like he just did his job and left and went home.
Wow.
And or did whatever he wanted to do, but he didn't hang out with anybody. So
Well, good
for
for him.
the 8 seasons of that show, he pretty much did his job. And because like there was, I guess, I don't think he knew everything that was going on, but I think it was just one of those things where
Yeah.
he didn't want to get involved. And good for him.
Yeah.
That doesn't make him like better than anybody else. I think it's the fact that he just made the right choice.
He didn't go
So
down that same level. Yeah.
correct. And when it comes down to it, like I said before, it's I think that that's the line. There's the line that gets drawn. But going back to just these statements here, I think that companies playing favorites with their lead role or their supporting role.
Yeah.
I think that when it comes to a workplace environment, if we're going to state as a law, no matter where we are, because I think workplace environment, at least in the United States, has like the equal opportunity employer. We've gotten a non-discrimination policy, all
Oh
that
yeah.
crap like that. If we're going to state that stuff, we should practice it,
Oh yeah.
especially in the public eye.
Oh
So
man. Yep.
um,
Yeah.
I
And the
don't know what
Prince.
Pascal's doing now, but I know that he was doing a lot of that crap like 4 years ago, and um,
Now that he's
I know that people
blown
are
up.
starting to get fatigue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's in
he's getting like
Fantastic Four.
they're calling it fatigue.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because he's in that movie now too, and like it's insane.
Oh, there was a rumor that he was fired from some Marvel project, but they said no, no, no. That he just they just said that he had finished all his scenes, so it didn't mean that he was like kicked. He's just done filming.
Oh,
But people immediately jumped out. So people are already thinking about, oh man, any second now he's gonna wear out his welcome and gonna get kicked out.
well, he is because of the crap that he's saying and stuff. Like he's gonna push the limits, and like that's what I'm saying is like it's not like he's like doing anything. Well, he hasn't been caught doing anything crazy, but that's what I'm saying is like a lot of
He's just
people are
running his mouth
talking.
a lot.
Yeah, they're just running their mouth. They're going crazy, and they're gonna get in trouble. So,
Yeah.
but that's kind of where it's going on that one. And also, can I just state because we talked about this also prior to the Rantcast of how all this stuff with Star Wars, all this stuff with the Disney stuff. I think even after the Acolyte, that was what last year. Last year. I just have to say that my my ability to tolerate or handle Star Wars anymore is becoming a lot harder.
Oh man.
Um, yeah, and that's anything. Like I tried to watch. I haven't even gotten to season 2 of The Mandalorian yet, or not Mandalorian, but Andor.
Oh
That's
man.
mostly because of time. But
People
I
are
tried to
saying.
rewatch Ahsoka
People are
so I
saying.
could get into
Yeah, yeah.
the stuff that I can't that I didn't finish, and I still haven't finished it, and it's sad. But like I have like a 10% dislike. It's like 10% less enjoyment or more when I watch anything Star Wars. And that I'm even talking about original trilogy now.
Dang. What's
Like I sit down to watch
what's your
like
favorite?
Empire or something. I'm like, oh.
Is Empire your favorite out of all the
No,
Star Wars?
we talked about this. You,
Okay.
you you know me. What my favorite Star
Okay.
Wars
Say
is. You
say
should
it
know.
say it on the camera. The Last
Oh,
Jedi.
so you can be reminded. I'll remind you.
Just kidding.
Don't worry. No, it's not Last Jedi, weirdo.
Just kidding.
It's Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, just like me. Yeah. So here's
Oh,
what.
I thought you liked Empire. Oh, I'm bad.
Ah, got him. No,
I thought we had an argument about this. Didn't we have an argument about
no.
whether
I think
Empire or
I
Jedi was
tried to
better?
I tried to nuance my view and I failed. I was trying to say that I always liked Jedi the best. I still like Jedi the best, but I
Yeah.
understand why so many people prefer Empire, and I can look at Empire and say it's better for the Star Wars lore, and I can say it's a better movie, but I still prefer Return of the Jedi. And it's a weird thing because you could say, okay, so you're really just saying it's just pure nostalgia. But no, I can watch it today and appreciate it for what it is, just as a standalone film. And it's almost like it doesn't need any other Star Wars to be what it is, which is not entirely true because you could say, well, all the stuff about Vader coming back, like it doesn't have the same impact unless you've experienced Empire already, unless you've experienced
Yeah,
Star
but
Wars.
you can watch it. You could watch,
Yeah,
like, you could be introduced to Star Wars through Return of the Jedi and
for
still
years
kind of enjoy it. I mean,
without
yeah,
watching.
because you could consider the same thing about Empire, though. Like,
You just
a lot of those
all you need
movies
to
are
know
like
is
kind of
there's some
standalone.
rebels on the run and Vader's after them, and yeah,
I mean, straight from the title crawl. The title crawl will usually give you something,
gives you up to
which is
speed.
another fucking thing I hate about Disney, man.
Oh
They're
yeah,
not doing the fucking title crawl anymore in their movies, and it's driving me fucking insane.
yep.
Like, not even for the major films. Like, I don't know if it's because they're not doing major films anymore, so they don't need the title crawl. But like, I didn't mind it when they were doing the Star Wars stories because they're like, okay, it's not like an official part of like the trilogy or
It's a side
anything.
story.
And now I'm guessing because they're not doing trilogies anymore or anything like that until they were talking about doing another one, they just don't want to do the title call. Okay,
They're
but like
stripping away the aspects of
this
Star
whole
Wars.
shtick,
Yeah,
yeah,
but yeah, you're right.
and
You're right. The Even though Star Wars is like an episodic story, it's still the idea would be you can pick it up anywhere, and the title crawl is enough to get you up to speed. And here's the story, and it can stand on its own. And even if it ends on a cliffhanger, it's like, okay, you still experienced the story that you were meant to experience.
I mean,
But
show wise, you could do the same with like Andor or some of the other Disney ones. I could still, even still hating a lot of it. There's still some things I have to play devil's advocate on. Like I said, there are still some there's still some gold trinkets in the shit. Like you can still see it, but the biggest thing is that I think the major flaw with a lot of the Disney products is they give Star Wars to just anybody. Anybody who has prior experience, anybody who's ready to just take Star Wars, like, me, I'll take it,
oh,
I'll
you're a
take
new
it.
director. Hey,
Do you
do
know
do a Star Wars. Go.
you? Oh, you have some tie-in, or you have some tie-ins with our CEO, or or you've worked with this and this person, and they're pretty much paying their way to let us work with you. That's fine. You just take this, bring your bring us your vision. Okay,
Everybody gets to direct
and then and
Star Wars.
so sick of Hollywood doing shit like that. Like experience is king when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's half the reason the Acolyte shat the bed. As I don't know how the fuck she got to be in that chair because she didn't know anything about the series. She didn't know anything about Star Wars in general. She barely knew how to do her main job. And because if you looked at her, if you looked at her resume, her fucking credits on IMDb, she made like women comedies and drama, and like half of those barely were good according to reviews.
Wow.
And like, so
So were they
that's what
just
I'm saying.
thinking like,
Like,
oh, we'll get a
who
fresh
gets picked
perspective.
up?
We'll get a fresh perspective of somebody who doesn't know anything about Star Wars. Like
Or had somebody else. She had
she
connections
was
in the industry, and that's what I'm
she
saying.
was
Is like,
making coffee with Kathleen Kennedy back in the day. So
yeah, maybe Kathleen Kennedy and her had a thing back in the day or whatever.
who knows?
Or I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Is like you never know in Hollywood though. Everything's so fake that like
Yeah, you can't
you
trust
don't
anything.
know. Like you really can't have a morality. You can't have any morality over there, and
You're
it's
frozen, by the way.
funky. And I am frozen. I said Star Wars, and I said Kathleen Kennedy, and she's
She
frozen my camera. There we
cast a
go.
spell.
I'm
Yeah.
back.
I She used the
Trying to
power
take
of
me down.
one. She used the power of two. She used the power of many.
Oh God.
I know that.
They said it was a Skywalker saga aspect. Okay.
Of
Yeah, I
of
bet
the
they
title
did.
crawl. I Yeah, it's an after the fact.
It's a Star Wars aspect. It's just
the story
God.
so far. Yeah.
Yeah, and
It's
that's
not the and see
I don't know.
when we say this kind of thing, somebody from the outside is going to look at it and go, "Oh, you nitpickers, it's still Star Wars. You just because you took away one thing, it's like no, but
But they
it's
didn't take away one thing. They took away many
many
things. They
things,
took away many things.
many
And there's, like I said, and
strands,
here's how I can back that up. Is there's
threadbare.
things I enjoy about Star Wars in general. Like there's things that I enjoy about Disney Star Wars sometimes.
Trademark.
So I'm not just saying I hate it. I'm not saying it's racist, or I'm not saying that it's because there's women in it or there's people of a different race. I'm not even saying that. I'm saying that it's bad because the people who direct it, script write it, all that stuff, they don't do their job.
And they don't
I'm
care.
saying that half the time when they take a look at it, they just don't give a fuck. They look at Star Wars and they think paycheck, money, royalties.
Lucas
like,
wanted money too. He made a lot of mistakes, but he still cared. Like he really cared about the story he was writing.
In the original trilogy, I think that yes, money was an aspect, but he was also dirt poor, and like he was running on fumes half the time.
Heart attack trying to finish the first movie.
You had to have a vision, and when you lack that vision, complacency is death. And that's what I'm saying is like half of this series is built on complacency. Star Wars is already a banquet of money. So when you take the series, who needs a fucking vision? The people who just write what they want they're just given to them. They don't have to put their heart into it. They just write it down and they hire a whole bunch of people and they package it and stamped it, and before they knew it, they didn't know if they should do it or whatever the fuck Dr. Malcolm says. You do it a lot better than I do. I don't quote Jurassic Park, but anyway, what I'm saying
what a great movie
is they nobody ever thinks of whether they should do shit like that. They just do it because at the end of the day, there are going to be the ignorant and stupid that just pay for it and watch it and decide that it's easy. Because at one point in time, I was that person. I was super young. I cared even less about entertainment, and it was just stuff to watch. But I also didn't know the implications, the consequences, and the fact that I would just be fueling like constant neglect and evil and I don't know, like I'm not on a crusade to stop anything or stop anybody or anything like that. I just have, I guess, more respect for stuff like that. And if you believe in something, you should take a stand on it.
Yeah.
And I feel like people think of me as the guy who's like, oh well, you're too dramatic about it. There's too much about it. You should stop having conspiracy theories. I'm like, they're not conspiracy theories. Like, people with tons of money tend to do the wrong thing first because it continues to make them tons and tons of money.
And it's only when it starts to threaten that they go, oh crap, maybe I'll go home and rethink my life.
Or they act like little kids and they continue to do the wrong thing. They just try a different strategy.
More.
I tend to think of the rich and powerful as toddlers with unlimited no rules, because you'll catch them with their pants down every once in a while and they'll try to lie their way out of it, and then they'll wait a little bit longer before they try it again.
Yeah.
And it's we are held to a standard as adults to do the right thing and to act in society, while the people who make a lot more than us and are supposed to uphold society and help with that stuff, they hide under this blanket of philanthropy and like nonsense, and they sit there and go, "Oh, we're doing the right thing. We're upstanding citizens. You all need to shut up because we do things you'll never understand. We make more money than you'll ever see in your life." And then they sit there and they like do 15 different types of drugs and pay people off when they do something wrong.
Yep.
And that's not just one or two types of rich people. That's a lot of rich people. It's a lot of big companies. That's why I don't like big companies. That's why I don't think
temptation to corruption, and it attracts the kind of people that become corrupt or are corrupt.
That's why I don't like big corporations, and why I don't think like they should be ruling our or dominating our country. We should have local businesses. We should have competition. We should have something that competes with Disney, but Disney and other big companies are buying everybody out, and nobody finds that to be a problem.
Yeah, they're gaming
So
the system.
I,
Yeah. It's not even
yeah, yeah.
it's not pure capitalism anymore. It's yeah, I don't know what you call it, but it's
Well,
gross.
yeah, not to get into a political aspect
I know,
about
that's
it, but
right.
that is the truth. And that is, yes, monopoly, Jason. That's what I'm saying is like it's at that point I start to just think to myself, well, I can live without that entertainment. I don't need their fucking it's not food, it's not water. At the end of the day, I could get licenses and hunt for myself. I don't need to to I don't even need to rely on that stuff. That's why I got away from social media. That's why I got away from a lot of the stuff is because I don't
Oh,
need that
you're getting some
appreciation. I
audio
don't
issues
need.
there. A little choppy.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, I got
Hold
most of
on.
what you said. But see, like Bohemius is saying, that's why the real fans now buy vacuform of Kennedy and Johnson and Carbonite instead of Han Solo. As Vorticon says, not just characters,
Wow.
but character development that you can relate to. Well, and that's the thing. When you have a good character development, and a good story, it's less important like what race or what gender the character is, and more what the character is, because you can appeal to a lot of people through that. So, yeah,
And I'm
for sure.
all for it, by the way. I'm all for diversity. If you want to diverse your
Yep.
characters, fine.
Yeah.
Do that.
But the
But at the same time, build your character.
yeah, it's
You
not
know,
enough to just
build
say, "Hey,
your
look."
character. I really felt bad for Boyega because he had a
Yep.
good setup in The Force Awakens. He
And
had a good setup about how he was a
backstory.
stormtrooper
Yep.
who was raised from birth and was, he actually gained a morality clause. Like he had like a little bit of
Conscience.
when he was sent out on his first combat, he actually got to see what they do and was like, I don't think this is meant for me.
Yep.
And he couldn't talk to anybody about it. He couldn't do anything about it. So what did he do? He escaped. He left. He ran away. And like it's the simplest concept. It doesn't need to be anything extraordinary. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. But that's what I'm saying. Hollywood thinks that we have to. We have to reinvent the wheel. We have to do things new. It doesn't make enough money. We need to make more money.
So,
Then we don't have anything new.
no.
So
And I
we
thought
don't have anything
when he
ingenuitive.
first yelled Ray, I mean that could have
I
been
didn't hear your Ray. Your noise suppression took that away.
Ray. I mean, I thought when I was watching The Force Awakens the first time, I thought, oh, maybe this could be something kind of sweet. He's in love with Ray. She's not interested in him. It could be kind of an interesting thing. But yeah, it just he became this slapstick like goofball, and like you couldn't take anything he did seriously. And yeah, many people pointing this out, like he just slaughters his family basically, like without a second thought. It's like, whatever.
Yeah.
I like Poe's jacket, so I'm just gonna like murder everybody that I work with. I mean, granted, they were killing people and stuff, but yeah, it's like there was no. Yeah, it's
Well,
like
yeah, and
whatever they
that's
started with,
probably
it
the
just
one
went
minor
nowhere.
thing
It
in
just
that. It
went
was that
nowhere.
like they had,
Yeah.
they had
Oh,
somebody
you
who
might have the
recognized
force. You might
him
have the force. No, no, not at all.
and called him like a traitor, and like he was like, "Oh, okay," and like he went to go fight him and stuff. Like there was no connection. There wasn't a lot of
Yeah.
huge connection. They built a mildly decent storyline to start with,
Well,
and then when they went to go do the next two movies, they shat all over it.
well, and remind me of this, but wasn't there was a female character, I don't remember her name, in the third movie where they were like, "Oh yeah, I was a stormtrooper too," and so there was like other stormtroopers that had broken their
Oh,
indoctrination.
you mean the? I can't remember who she was played by. There was like a famous actor, and she or actress, and she was played by or she had like she was in that planet that they were there for all of about what 20 minutes. I think it was like Finn. Was it not Finn's, but
I barely
Poe. It
remember
was
the
like
movie.
Poe's
Yeah, it's
love
like,
interest at one point in time or some shit.
oh, and at the
It
end of the
was it
movie,
was
Lando is
wacky.
like, "And how you doing?" I was like, "Oh,
Was it Lando's daughter?
People
sure?
people were saying she was
Bro,
Lando's
I
daughter,
can't
but
remember.
I thought that was a fan theory. I thought that was a fan
I haven't
theory.
watched The Rise of Skywalker in like fucking 6 years. It's
Well,
been a long time.
people said, okay, yeah, it's Lando's daughter, and then but at the end of the movie, like he sits down, he's like he's just making small talk, but people are like, wait a minute, is he trying to flirt with her? It's like, how you doing? Let me order you a nice
just to answer
refreshing Colt 45. Works every
just to
time.
answer your question, it still works.
It's like, and then it cuts away. He's like, wait a minute, what? Probably if I watch it again, it won't be the same. But yeah, people were saying it's kind of had some creepy vibes, especially if the fan theory was true. It's like, are you my daughter? Because
I
I
cleaned the plumbing and everything still works
feel
down there.
strangely attracted to you. You're not by any chance
Did you know
related to
that
me
I
in any
was
way.
did you know that I was gender fluid?
Oh man, that interview. It's like, I didn't know what that term meant. I just thought it meant I was in touch with my feminine side. You old pirate.
Nope, it means you have sex with robots. That's exactly what it means.
Oh, trust me, it works.
Oh,
It works. It really
that's
does.
another big thing. Because when I
They
first
ruined
saw
Lando.
Solo,
They made him such a
I totally enjoyed that movie, except for Social Justice Robot.
yeah.
And then when I found out, I just thought he cared for the robot, like
Could have
Han
been.
would care for Chewie.
That
Like
could have worked.
you built
Yeah.
an attachment over the robot a little
Han
bit.
loved his ship.
Whatever,
Han
because
loved
it's
his ship, but he didn't.
well, yeah, but like that's
Not in
okay.
that
Okay,
way.
before we go, but like what I'm saying is like you build something, you get attached to it a little bit, it talks to you, whatever. You kind of have that like human attachment, like it's like your best friend, and like whatever. But then somebody was you brought that up, and then like it was like an interview that I watched. I was like, wait a second, are you saying like you saying like he had like a physical attraction
Yeah.
to the social justice robot?
Yeah.
Like he was like actually doing things
Like
with the
Chewie.
robot?
Chewie, go pick up some power
Like,
computers. We need some alone time here. It's like what? What the hell?
so when did he meet Chewie? Because besides with Han, because I thought at one point in time like he knew Chewie. Like, and that's
Yeah.
another thing. It's like they changed that up because I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure
I
the
liked.
original storyline was because he traveled with Chewie at one point, and then Chewie ended up meeting Han or some shit like that, and then
Well, the
I can't remember. That's
the
another thing I need to re up on.
The Wookiee storybook when I was a kid, and I had never heard of the holiday special, but it would takes place on Kashyyyk, and it follows the adventures of Lumpy. But I mean, he's like telling the story about how, oh yeah, how Han Solo met my dad. Like Chewbacca was captured by slavers. Han Solo saved him, saved his life. So now he had a life debt. They became friends. They had
Oh yeah,
adventures together. It was like, oh, cool. So that's how it works. And so Chewbacca puts up with a lot of crap from Han because it's like, hey, this guy saved my life. I gotta honor that. But yeah, it's just like, oh, they meet it. What they throw him in prison, and it's like, oh, this monster is gonna eat you, and he just makes friends with him instead. And so they break out and take a shower together, and next thing you know, they're best
they're best
buddies.
friends.
Yep,
Yep, that's it.
yep,
No life debt, just best buddies.
yep. He needs somebody to
I mean, I
wash his
think the
back,
life
and
debt isn't. I think the life debt is kind of insinuated, but because like they got out together with like the help of him, but like it's a lot better like explained in the comics and stuff.
yeah,
Um, nah. Oh, you were saying that they got people marrying AI. Yeah, but those people are just the same losers that
they were already,
couldn't.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, this guy was already married and had kids, and
Oh
apparently
yeah,
he was
yeah.
doing an
I found
experiment.
out
He
about that.
proposed to the AI, and what didn't the AI got deleted, and he was like he
Chat
cried.
GPT, yeah, this guy's in love with Chat GPT. So pretty much the article was,
Oh,
it was like, and they even interviewed the dude's wife. Like, what happened was this guy's got a wife and daughter,
yeah,
and like I said, like you said, he's got a really decent family. Like, it's not like he's married to like some fucking
nut.
ugly chud, but he does production and he uses ChatGPT to help him with his work. Well, ChatGPT, even with the memory turned on, so it can kind of remember your conversation, Because back in the day, when you use ChatGPT or any other AI source, because I've kind of used it, I don't rely on it for any like part of my life. I mostly goof around with it or have it like write like YouTube how-tos on how to produce a clean fart. Like that's the majority of my. I make AI do stupid shit. I don't
Who
I don't
doesn't?
rely
Who
on it for any
doesn't?
form of importance.
It's just in
But the
another
point
entertainment. Yeah, screw around.
is he used it for production, which it can be. That's the whole point. Is it's supposed to help you
Hmm.
work
But it
at
would
some
flirt
point in
with him.
time.
Didn't he
But
had it flirt with
he
him?
flirted with it, and then it would flirt back with him.
Oh shoot.
Because, like I said, that the whole model, especially with ChatGPT, is it's not supposed to be able to do that, but it can.
Hmm.
And so what he did was he, I guess, got attached to it, which I have no idea how. There are people who sell algorithms
Well,
that have
the funny,
faces and stuff that you can get with, and like
yeah,
it's really weird. But
animations.
going back to the ChatGPT thing is he would talk with this thing for hours
Wow.
and hours while he would work. So it would help him work because ChatGPT does have a voice function. It will stay on, and you can just conversate. You can ask it how to do something with your work. It will tell you. And then you can also ask it, how's your day going? Like you could just have a regular conversation. And most of the time, it will give you a fluent response.
Hmm.
And the the thing that came back was eventually, even with being a paid subscriber for ChatGPT, that memory has to get cached out at some point in time.
Oh yeah, yeah,
It cannot hold everything.
yeah.
And unlike the human brain, which can hold a good chunk of your memories and you will, opt out of the small stuff, everything gets cached and thrown out the window when that happens. And so it met the memory limit, it cashed out, and as he was like falling in love with that thing stopped recognizing who he was. And he was at work and he said like he bawled for like hours.
Yep.
And like it's like, bro, you do know the thing had no face. It was it's like a blue dot.
Right.
And you formed an attachment with that and like his wife took it pretty well.
Yeah.
It's just like it's her question, her statement to the tabloids was like, "Am I doing something wrong? Like I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or what's going on." But I felt it to be very like awkward, uncomfortable, and stuff like that. And it's like anybody would
Yeah.
find that to be awkward and
I
uncomfortable.
mean, he
And
didn't
in
cheat on
fact,
you with a real
you're
person,
lucky.
but still, it's like,
That's
whoa,
still to me.
whoa.
That's still cheating. In fact, that's worse than cheating. It's like it's a
Hmm.
dramatic insult because you can't even insult the woman by getting somebody else.
Oh, I see.
Like
Yeah.
you are stooping lower and trying to satisfy a need that you can get with your wife, but you're satisfying your need by looking at your phone and talking to somebody else. So you're telling your wife that she's too boring to have a conversation with,
Yeah.
or
Yeah. When you look at it like
too
that, that is
lame
pretty
to
awful.
even get physical with, that you have to look at your phone and talk to your phone. And that's a fucking spit in the face, man. I would almost rather be cheated on. Like if I had to, if I had to pick, I would have rather somebody walked out and like boinked to somebody else and came back. I'd still be hurt,
Yeah, for
but
sure.
like I wouldn't be like it'd be hurt, confused, all sorts of weird fucking feelings would be. I wouldn't know what to do because like I'd be wondering why the fuck I was with somebody who fell in love with their phone
They don't even want a person.
or an algorithm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the weird thing. And that guy like was still all about it. And like I was like, dude, you're lucky you're in the same house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
so like you're not booted out on the street. And like he had a daughter. Like
Man.
like do people not give a shit about what they teach their children anymore? Like
I guess I
it's
just have
really
to be like,
weird.
my dad's mentally ill. That's all there is to it.
If you're gonna be a nutcase, do it without breeding or bringing kids onto this earth. Like it's so wacky.
Wow.
But yeah, we totally got off on the. We went
Anyway,
from Lando talking to robots to ChatGPT, which I
I
mean is a good
at
subject. But
least my
um,
droid could, you know, never mind. Okay,
But
that
that's what I'm
Lando
saying.
is
Like the
not canon for
character,
me. The real Lando,
that
he's a
that
charmer.
Lando character, I can still watch that movie and just think that they were friends because there wasn't any. To me, there wasn't any act. That's just something they stated.
Yeah,
They were like, "Oh, his
innuendo.
backstory was he fell in love with his robot." I was like, "No, they're just really close friends." I'm not gonna find that to be an actual thing. You will never convince me that that guy whipped out his Johnson and slapped the robot across the face with it for fun, or like did wacky, wacky things
Yeah,
with that robot. There was nothing anatomically correct about that droid.
jokes. So many
So,
jokes. Yeah,
or and that droid acted like if you even touched it weird or gave it a hug, it would slap the shit out of you
right.
and scream all sorts of like, bad touch words.
Right.
So I feel like it's one of those things where they were just really close friends.
Yeah, the writers were just messing with us. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and like I said, when that droid died, I was like, oh man, Lando's gonna be sad. I was like, I'm not though.
Now I gotta have
That droid was
relationships
annoying,
with real people.
and I've never felt better. Oh my god.
Finally free of that walking tin can ball and chain.
Also, if it was uploaded into the Falcon, what happened? Because the the Falcon went into many other movies, and we didn't hear anything.
Yeah.
Did it just meld into the navigational system
Yeah.
after that,
Maybe
or?
just put it in the back memory or
Because
something.
that's how we keep her alive. We keep her alive by putting her in the navigational system. She'll lead us
Which
through
they've done
the
that.
Kessel Run.
Yeah, they've done that in sci-fi. I think they've done it in Star Wars as well. Wasn't there?
Yeah, but like ruined the Kessel Run completely. Because I liked
Yeah,
the idea of the
going around
Kessel
the
Run
black
being
hole.
like an astral. Yeah, it's a black hole. But the fact that it didn't take just a good pilot and a decent ship to get through Kessel, he needed the navigational charts from a robot, and like that was kind of weird to me. But besides that, that movie is still pretty good for me to watch. I think I've watched that movie more than I watched any other film from the Disney series. Like, because I liked
Solo.
Solo and I liked Rogue One. Like, the only thing I didn't particularly like about Rogue One was every other young fanboy who was like, "Oh, it's Darth Vader." Like, I thought that was cool at first, and I was like, "Wait,
Darth Vader jokes.
if you ever watched the original trilogy, Darth Vader never gets like fucking like the Rock, Dwayne the Rock Johnson on anybody. He doesn't like use the Force 3 times a day or
He
like
he
every
choke
two
he
seconds to like
chokes.
hurt people.
Yeah, he chokes
Yeah, he
one
chokes
guy
people,
with this
but like holy
burning.
crap, that whole scene could have been solved by him doing one huge force shove and throwing everybody against the wall. But then what happens in the other movies?
He ran out of Force
Like,
mana. He had to wait for it to recharge. Like a video game. It's like the Force
indeed.
heal thing. It looks cool and it works well in a video game, and you try to just put it
That
in a
okay.
movie, and it's like, what? Doesn't work.
That was okay. It was okay because like I was like, oh, they probably pulled this from like the games, right?
Mm,
She had to sit down to heal. Oh, she's like, okay, so she's got like level 1 healing from like Jedi Outcast.
yep.
You have to like meditate on it.
You got to
You
find
can't
some more
just like
secrets, get some more Force stars,
heal.
build it up. Yeah.
And then she like put her hand on people and could heal them. I was like, what are you, Jesus? Like
Yeah.
what? Like
Basically.
what is this? Where was this in the other two movies? When did she discover she could heal people? Like when are we performing
She
miracles?
bypassed the compressor.
Is the Force able to perform miracles now? So she's a great pilot. She's
Well, that's what people are saying.
she's a great Jedi.
Everything's
She was
explained
like
by the Force. Just gave it to her. Just gave her everything.
like, and then people said she was a Mary Sue. I was like, man, no. She met Finn, and then she dropped the console down and put in Dev Map All, and then hit God, and then it set Force All to 3,000, and that was it.
LA, I am lame. Yeah, all weapons,
Yep. Yep. All weapons.
all keys.
Could just, no clip if she wanted to. She got stuck in a level, she could no clip out of it. I mean,
Yep,
geez.
playing with the
Dasan
keys
had no chance against her. It
in
was
the
over before it
in the
started.
charade. Yeah,
Yep. So I mean, Geez, it was just crazy because like it literally kind of takes a big old kind of rips
Yeah.
a big old fart in your face because you
Well,
watch all the other Star Wars movies, including the prequels, and you see Anakin. Anakin's a whiny bitch, right? I still don't understand why everybody loves Anakin Skywalker. I mean,
he had so
I
much
liked him
potential.
as a character. Well, I liked him as a character who you could see his failings. He was a character
Yeah.
who you shouldn't aspire to be. You're a character that you should learn from because he's a kid with talent. He had a lot of talent, but it got too much for his head. And even with the Clone Wars stuff,
Right.
they try to portray that a little bit. But all the kids are looking at him, even like Star Wars man looks at him and goes, "Oh, I love Anakin. Ooh, juice in my pants." No, no, you don't want to do that. You look at him and you go, "Oh, he's got talent. He has emotions. He utilizes all that. That was bad for Jedi, and there's a reason it's bad for Jedi." I don't
Yeah.
really like this whole like the Jedi are stupid thing because like there's a reason they practiced that back in the day. And yes, they were a little bit, um, I don't know, stingy
Yeah.
about it. Like they were
But
technically based off of like a religion. Like
yeah.
so
Hmm.
you followed our cult, you followed our cult rules, so you don't become part of it. And like,
Right.
but that's the thing
But there
is
was wisdom in what they were doing. It's just that, yeah,
yes,
they had blind spots. So it's not that the Sith were
like
good; the Sith were evil. But
they were evil. The,
my
the,
point
the
of view,
whole
the
point is
Jedi
when
are
the
evil.
back the
Yeah.
bad guy comes to you and tells you everything that makes sense and that you should just let go because letting go is natural,
Hmm.
being angry is natural, doing these bad things are natural
It's a half
because
truth.
it's harder to hold them or to find control in them, and it's a lot easier to let go. And I think that's a good point in the story is you shouldn't uh you shouldn't be quick to anger. You shouldn't be quick to emotions all the time. You shouldn't be quick to let go. You can be calm, fine judgment, and you may not be this cool badass, but a lot of the time you learn from a lot more experience when you're calm. You're less quick to make
Hmm.
impulsive decisions and stuff. And when you have somebody in your ear going, "Well, natural human emotion is natural. It's fine." Yes, it is natural. Fine. It's not natural when you go ape shit on everybody every 2 seconds. And I
Well,
think the difference was when he killed Windu,
yeah,
when he made that impulsive decision, he looks at himself and goes, "What have I done?" And
yeah.
like that's I think a lot of real world and real emotion comes from a lot of those or goes into a lot of those movies, as well as the real life politics of that time.
Better than
But
the new characters.
a lot better than the new characters. I mean, and and like I said before, same thing with the original trilogy. There was something to it, but my love for the prequels is a lot different than my generation's love for the prequels.
Hmm.
I don't idolize Anakin Skywalker.
No.
I consider him a character you learn from when you watch those movies.
Yeah. He's a
And like I said,
flawed character.
yeah, and I think
But
Hayden
as opposed
Christensen, I
to
agree with a lot of people. I think he did a good job.
yeah,
But
as opposed to the prequel characters where I feel like each of them has like the potential for greatness as a character. Like you say, Finn, interesting premise for a guy, right?
yeah,
Totally wasted. Um, Ray seems like a sweet young woman. She's got some talent. She's like very hopeful. Like she could be a compelling, like endearing character. And she's got some destiny. But then, yeah, then it's just like, oh nope, there's no stakes. Who cares? She could do anything. And it's just like, yeah, it's like why? Why did you do that? You wasted it. And I don't know. I mean, Poe jumped back and forth. I felt like Kylo Ren was like the most inconsistent. Like he goes from like completely pathetic to like I don't know, super scary and back and forth. And it's like, okay, I guess that's a character, but it's just
I
I'm
think he
getting
did. I think
whiplash.
he was the best part,
He
the
did the best
best
he
part of
could.
Rise of Skywalker.
Did the best he could.
Yeah, Adam Driver is a very talented actor, I think,
Yeah, I don't blame
and
the actor at all. I think it's just yeah, he did what
I think he did.
directors had him do.
Yeah, I think he did. He played two characters very well in that because he made the transformation back from um, Kylo Ren to Ben, which you could definitely tell both those characters were the same person, but they both had very different personalities. And when there's a moment in that movie that I do remember, it's after the fight with with Ray when he had to make that realization. You could see a lot of like the stress and kind of like the not evil. I wouldn't say evil, but like a lot of that hardened emotion leave his face, and it's kind of like a very very smooth character transition. And I don't know if he meant to do it, but he did it well. So,
Yeah.
and at least for the film, because that film there wasn't a lot of hard acting that needed to be done to make that film at least
Ow.
decent, because the rest of that movie sucked.
Yeah.
So,
Well, to me,
like,
I guess if I had to look at the Kylo Ren, the whole character is to say he's like even more of what Anakin was portrayed as. Like Anakin is portrayed as a flawed person, a guy with a lot of potential for power, a lot of talent, but then he goes down the wrong path with it, right? He ends up abusing it, and whereas Kylo Ren, it's like okay, he is like if you're trying to create a villain that's like so cool that you admire him, like no, we'll go the other way. We'll make him like pathetic, like absolutely like
2.0.
evil has like his the dark side is ruining him. Like it's making him like a bad person, a person that's not admirable at all. And so it's like okay, then you see exactly what it is. And it's kind of hard because like I guess there's a part of me that wants the villain to be cool and make him like kind of badass and like you kind of admire him even though he's the bad guy. But here is just like no, this is what's going to happen to you if you fall in with the wrong crowd, if you seek after power that you shouldn't have and uh, don't care what happens to other people. And his redemption is I don't know if I guess I was so tuned out of the series at that point. It was hard for me to just kind of appreciate it. But you're right. It's in the midst of a really terrible movie and a really terrible trilogy. So
I think that is probably the only diverse part of his thing. Like, I know that a lot of villain characters in that series make redemption arcs, but Kylo Ren as a character is really just a Darth Vader fanboy,
yeah,
and
he is.
um,
He's
it's
conflicted
somebody who
from the
wants to
start.
surpass him but cannot.
Right.
And so it's something that, like, I think if that's where they aimed for it, then yeah, sure, they did a good job.
Yeah.
But I think they were trying to get somewhere else on top of that, and they just didn't reach it.
Yeah.
So I think moving forward, I think the greatest part about that was that redemption arc, and I think Adam Driver as a character played the role for like pretty well. I think out of everything, I think
Was he the highlight
I
of
think he did
the series?
yeah, yeah, I would say so. Even against the old characters at the moment, like um, I think
I
he
guess
worked well with
I'm
Mark
gonna
Hamill.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and agree with you. Because I
I
thinking
think
back to what I experienced watching those three movies, as much as I
yeah, I think he worked
cringe.
well with Mark Hamill. I don't think Harrison Ford brought his A game to Force Awakens, and I've seen him bring his A game to current films, or at least something similar to his A game, because he's old, to current films now.
Yeah.
Because he's even shows, because he's in a show called like Shrinking or something, and he does a
Well,
lot better emotion and stuff.
they
I just
say
think he was tired of Star Wars and he didn't
they
want to
s-
do it anymore.
yeah, he's been tired of Star Wars for like 30 years, 40 years.
So yeah,
Well, they always say the actors, break a leg, good luck. And he actually did break a leg on the Force Awakens. Didn't like a door like slam on his leg or something.
the Falcons like door or something like that
Damn it.
came in on his leg.
Yeah. Sorry, he just he's such a grouchy old guy. I can't help making fun of him, but no, I'm glad he came back from that.
I can't imagine he'd be easy to work with, but you never know. He might be easy to work. I don't think he's ever been known as hard to work with. So
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, he said he's. I thought for sure he was done with Star Wars permanently. Like he was not coming back. Like he always talked about that. But yeah, one more favor for George. He lost that hand of poker. He had to come back. And there were a couple moments where he's just kind of there, standing there smirking, and you're like, yeah, maybe it is Han Solo again. And then it's just like, nope, nope. They threw him off a bridge. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he even he shows up one more time in Rise of Skywalker as like a ghost.
Yeah, because
And
again, it's like
he is
okay,
not makeup,
this is it.
does not give a shit.
But
Yeah,
they've
this
still
was
got it. They've
like
still got one more recording of him. Hey
yeah,
Harrison,
because
Harry
like they
Harrison, turn around for a second. What? What? Like oh, you're filming, aren't you? Get him one more
no, it
time.
was like, hey, we need you for, and he interrupts them with a astronomical fucking number. The zeros on this check are many, and they're like, oh no, and he's like,
All right.
there better be that many zeros on that check,
It's like he,
and he's like,
he's like,
damn.
I'll only do it for $100 million. Dang it, that check is
This
for
is
100
like
million,
done.
isn't it? Well, man of my word. Now I got to do it. All right, George. Let's do it one more time.
Or he asked for like
Where's
a brand
George?
new plane.
George isn't here. Oh, dang it. I said I'd do it. Oh, George isn't here.
All right, tell George I need the script. But Harrison,
There isn't.
George isn't here. He doesn't have Star Wars on. Bullshit. Get me Lucas right now.
Oh,
I
man.
didn't kill my wife. It's the wrong movie, Harrison. No,
Get off
stop.
my plane.
Get off my plane.
No ticket. Like, all right, we'll just keep on filming. We'll just edit out all the
We'll just
references to other movies.
keep Harrison, you're not working on the right film. Part time. What? What?
Oh, man.
He just starts going through the motions until we finally get to Star Wars.
It's like, oh, no, okay, we'll print that part. Yeah, Harrison Ford, man. But man, Han Solo, the character, so great. Love him.
Oh yeah.
What a great guy. And I started with Return of the Jedi, which a lot of people were like, "Oh, he was more of a comic like slapstick kind of guy." But I liked him. And I can see why like you watch Empire and you're like, "Wow, he's even cooler than I thought." Go back to Star
Yeah,
Wars.
dude.
Wow, he had a character arc. Amazing.
I enjoyed him back in the day, and
Great.
like it was always nice to see. Like I always like to watch Luke, right, in the comics,
Yeah.
or
Luke was my
I
favorite.
see what they were up to. But when you had those adventures, like Dark Empire stuff like that, it was always cool to see back and forth because there was never a character that you got tired of. So
Right.
you're like, oh no, just skip past this part.
They have their own
No,
approaches to things.
yeah, like Han, Leia, Chewbacca, and then you had like Luke. You see what Luke was doing after that, stuff like that. It was just nice to see what they were doing after the trilogy, and I don't know, like it was cool. Like just to know, like you'd see Hines start to get a little older,
Mm.
um, especially in the Timothy Zahn novels, and he'd still be that cocky,
Yeah.
smuggler, but like he had a lot more like
He was
they
more
tried to
mature.
keep his character together, like as if
Yeah.
Harrison Ford was doing it. They tried to keep it a lot more, and you just vision it in your head, and you're like, oh,
All the
yeah, it's very, very
characters
close.
all the characters matured, but they would have like little flashes of their old self back, like, oh,
Yeah,
this was Chewie now get us through this, kind of thing.
I think that Leia was probably the closest thing in the Disney series to what I think they would do in the books,
Oh,
because she was like besides the death and the Force Witch thing, I think the
yeah,
senator and stuff like that was fine. Of course, she did eventually learn how to be a Jedi at one point in time in the books, um, but she did become was she a Coruscant senator or something at one point in time? I think she was. She ended up governing the rebellion and stuff, I think, at one point in time, or the New Republic. But yeah, I can't remember right off the top of my head. It's been a long time. I haven't reread those books in so long. But it was a very that was a very fun time to be alive. The
oh
new
yeah,
the new Star Wars stuff. So
everything was new.
yeah.
Well, I wonder. We've been going for quite a while here. Usually we would have taken a break a long time ago, but
I know.
we have one
It's
more
just
topic. We have one more topic. What do you think? Should we just pound it out and go, or should we? Uh,
yeah, we could probably just pound it out. I mean, unless you are good for a break, you want to take a 5 minute break because we could probably get into something else if
oh,
um And he goes, "This will give me a chance to use the restroom, take medicine, do whatever we need to do."
Okay.
We can probably take a break. Let's go ahead and take like a 5-10 minute break.
Sounds good. And then we'll get into our last topic, Matt Mercer.
Yeah. Be right back, guys.
Rantcast. All right, we're back on the Rantcast. Back from break. Hope you all got your beverage, got your nap in, because we got at least one more segment to go. StrangeBus, how you doing?
I'm all right.
Oh.
I'm I went out there to check up on my kids who are asleep, except for my youngest. My 1-year-old is still up there hopping around and being crazy, but wife's home, so.
Oh, he's getting tired. Sleep.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I took this break and forgot to take all my medications, so I gotta go grab those. But
all right.
I'm still be in my office. Just give me a second. They're like right here. So.
Oh, I threw the screen back up and cranked up the music. It's like back to break. Just kidding, guys. All right.
I know my old man medication.
There's my screen here.
My old man and my epilepsy stuff. So.
Well, we want you to stay healthy here on the Rantcast.
That's right.
All right.
I do this during my streams too, so.
All right. Well,
I'd like pull my 8 or 9 hour stream, and then I'd be like, "Oh, I gotta take my meds."
I can introduce our new topic. So, I don't know about you, but I'm not a huge Dungeons and Dragons fan. I always have to say that.
Why not?
Why not? Well, I just haven't played the game enough, and I've nothing against it. It's just I've spent my time playing other games, and I guess I always say that because I'm afraid that like somebody else is going to come in and just school us. But I guess I kind of want that. I want someone to jump in and go, well, actually. But I can give my perspective on it. Is okay. So there's this web series called Critical Role, ROLE. You may have heard of it. So of course the critical role in Dungeons and Dragons is, you roll a 6, it's really good, right? That's a critical success. A 1 is a critical failure. Or I guess if you're on a 20-sided die, a 20 would be the best you can possibly get versus a 1, the worst you can possibly get. But anyway, they had this very successful show. It started in 2015, I believe. I was reading that, and they started talking about this thing called the Matt Mercer effect. And it was just like a sensation. Because what they did was they sat a bunch of people down to play Dungeons and Dragons, but they were all like voice actors and like TV actors, like people who could really, ham it up on camera. I mean, these people were doing all the sound effects, all the voices, the characters. And if you watch a clip, so I just watched a clip of it after we came back from GenCon, my friend and Brian and I. We were watching one of Joe Manganiello's like scenes. I think it was his last scene, like his character, and he's like just does this really dramatic thing. It's like, oh yeah, I hold up the sword and I realize it's the only way I can get rid of the the evil thing that's attached to his hand, and it's like he says a quick prayer to his god, and then he brings the sword down, and he chops his hand right off, and everyone's like, oh. He's just sitting there. They're just sitting there at a table, talking this story through. And then he's like, and then he puts the magical gauntlet on, and then it's like, okay, I'm done. Gets up, walks away.
Critical Role it's on a streaming platform, right?
Yeah,
it's like a show.
Yeah, so it's been going for years, and I guess they've done 3 campaigns, and they've always been playing Dungeons and Dragons. So Wizards of the Coast game, 5th edition, always the latest stuff. It has brought a ton of popularity, a ton of exposure to D&D. Supposedly tons of people have gotten into the game that never would have before because they saw these attractive, talented actors playing it, in a really dramatic way, high production values for a web show. But the latest is so Matt Mercer, the guy who's been the GM or the dungeon master this whole time, is stepping away from that role. And at first, people were like, wait a minute, did they fire him? Did they get rid of him? Is he quitting? Is there some drama? But apparently not. Apparently, and I sent you an article there just for receipts,
Yeah, I'm reading it.
is that he wanted to do other projects. So it's like, okay, but is that code for like, he was kicked out? Or I suspect, and a lot of people are suspecting, this has something to do with some of the bad feelings and some of the burnout and the distrust, I guess, between the
Okay,
fans
so
and Wizards of the
bad
Coast,
feelings. Oh, okay. Sorry.
like
Well,
OGL
I
or like
thought
Pinkertons. So it's
I thought
not
it had
against.
something to do with like the crew or
No, I
something
don't.
like
I don't
that.
think it's. I suspect it has nothing to do with Matt Mercer and his people. It's the relationship between the company that makes D&D and the fans. That maybe they're like, you know what, I've done this enough. Kind of like we're with our Star Wars thing. I'm thinking maybe there's, whether they say it or not, maybe between the lines there's a little bit of that burnout. Like we're just going to go away. And well, there is maybe an ulterior motive. Now, some of this is speculation because it hasn't been. Um, yeah, he's going to be a player. He'll be involved. It's just that he won't be leading the game. And it's like that's shocking to people because it's like it'd be like if all of a sudden I was doing HeroQuest fans, but somebody else was Zargon. Like I don't have a problem with that, but I mean, and I've done that by the way. You were Zargon, but I mean,
Right.
it's like you've done it for so long, all these years, and all of a sudden he's stepping away. So they're like, whoa, is this because like D&D is like less cool now, like or something? But then other people were pointing out, well, there's a possibility, not confirmed yet. There's a possibility that Daggerheart is going to be the game they're going to use. So Professor Dungeon Master was talking about this on his channel on YouTube. Of well, the Critical Role people have been developing their own RPG called Daggerheart from 2023. They tested it out at GenCon, and so it's like, well, maybe this is so that they can promote their own game. So maybe it's just kind of a self-serving kind of thing, or maybe it's just like, you know what, people are looking for alternatives to D&D. People are mad at Wizards of the Coast, kind of sick of their BS, and so it's like maybe this is just a sign of the times, of where things are going, or maybe it's just mindless speculation and they'll just be right back where they were and everything will be the same. But
Excuse me.
people are wondering,
So,
D&D is not the end all be all of tabletop gaming anymore. Some of the
so
shiny
according to
stuff.
this here,
Yeah.
you have Mercer handing over the campaign to Dimension 20's Brennan Lee Mulligan.
Yeah,
Do you
different
have any
guy.
idea who that guy is?
No, no, I don't.
Okay.
Other than what's in the article. So new guy,
Just new guy.
new guy.
I mean, I don't blame him if that's the case at this point,
Tired of doing the same old thing. I mean, sure.
Well, or like with like the bullshit going on with like the OGL and Wizards of
Yeah,
the Coast. I mean, like we've stated before, and like I stated earlier on this podcast, bigger businesses tend to fuck around a little bit too much, and you know, if there's something you're passionate about, or there's entertainment or media you like, don't stay tied to it. I know that some people in our chat disagree with me on this, because there maybe hasn't been a line that's been crossed yet or whatever, but don't stay tied to it if they're gonna continue to fuck you. I take a break, continue to play with the stuff that you currently have. Don't continue to hand your hard-earned dollars to a company that will rake in that money and then say, oh well, they're just buying anyway, we'll just stay. The best course of action, best thing you can do is vote with your wallet.
yeah. Oh, Jacer. So I think Jacer is more familiar with the show. He's pointing out that there have been guest GMs before, but just not for the whole campaign. I would compare it
Maybe you're just
maybe
tired of doing
to,
it.
yeah, could be. I would compare it to, okay, if anybody remembers, well, I guess you could say this about other shows too, but Johnny Carson. Like I grew up the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. So like he was always the host. Now he would go on vacation and like Jay Leno would fill in for him. And it's like, it's Jay Leno. Come on, bring Johnny back. But then eventually it's like, okay, it's time for him to retire. Who's going to take over the show? It was a big deal. So it's like,
David Letterman.
yeah, or Jay Leno, or there was like a whole list of people that people were like,
No,
oh,
I just stated that because there was there was a thing on that too that I read on.
the rivalry.
Yeah, well, no, because Leno studied people to get to his seat.
Hmm.
Because I think the execs didn't like him very much. So I don't think he was slotted because he's the guy who took Carson's position, didn't he?
Trying to remember. Uh,
But I think
yeah,
if I remember right, if this is the same story, I think it was originally going to be like Letterman or something, and then Leno took that spot. So
I'm gonna
Letterman
have to
stayed
go
on his
back.
show.
It's funny because I used to have all this stuff at my fingertips, and now I can't remember. I'd have to go back.
'Cause that's
Yeah,
what I because
maybe.
I was looking up on how Conan lost his seat
Yeah.
in late night,
The late night
and
wars were a big deal. Like, yeah, who is taking over for who and
yeah,
everything. And yeah, but I mean, there was other people waiting in the wings. Like Joan Collins was there, and yeah, David Letterman, Jay Leno. Um, yeah,
Ma, you like cars? You like cars? Oh.
I remember the Doritos one. Yeah, crunch all you want. I'll make more.
Yeah, like some more. Eat all the Doritos you want.
They're crunchy, they're cheesy.
Yeah, get some on your fingers. Lick them off.
Yep, yep. But yeah, I used to, yeah, well, I guess, and it was something special when you were a kid and you were allowed to stay up late, to watch, this show. And I mean, he would sometimes go a little blue with his stuff, but for the most part, he kept it pretty above board. He had the innuendos and stuff, but um, other shows were raunchier. And he always had the guests on and doing their stuff. A lot of people, I mean, that was always the thing. It's like you have your show, you bring on the guests, they get big, and then it's like it reflects back on you. It's like, oh, they got their start on our show. So I think Critical Role, I mean, I don't know all the guests that they've had over the years, but people were telling me, oh yeah, Joe Manganiello, he was a frequent, uh, character on there. But I mean, he wasn't like I don't think he was part of the permanent cast, but he definitely appeared quite a bit. So it's like people knew who he was because of that. It's like, oh, he's not just the guy from True Blood. He's like a big tabletop nerd. He's a big RPG fan. And here he is showing, how he can use his acting skills to enhance the
He's a
game.
fucking nerd.
Yeah, pretty much.
Look at me, I'm a fucking nerd.
Yeah, getting some James Rolfe in there. But yeah, but anyway, I didn't watch the show if you can't tell. But it's a pretty big deal. People are watching very carefully to see, okay, is this new GM going to be like as influential as Matt Mercer was? Are they going to still use D&D? Are they going to use some other game, And if they
I
do,
might watch it.
what's going to happen? Yeah. Yeah.
I might watch this to see what they do. Like, I'm not a huge D&D guy either anymore, and like, but at the same time, I prefer to like watch some campaigns. Like, back when I used to like get into it,
Hmm.
watching those campaigns unfold was nice because it gave me experience on how to be a better like game master.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I like
That's where I learned to
the thing.
manipulate
Hmm.
3.0 and make the Kotar version of D&D.
Nice.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I wouldn't mind
um,
playing a campaign with you. Of course, I want to try the Star Wars D6 West End games.
so
Go whip
it's
back.
been so long. We'd have to whip out
Yep,
all those books in the back.
just
My
turn
camera's
around.
frozen again. I'm sorry.
Yep,
It should fix
frozen
itself.
in time.
Eh,
There we
Pepperoni.
go.
There we go.
Yep.
But I have all those books in the
Yeah,
shelf over
man.
here,
Well, just
and
imagine. I mean, I
yeah.
did some stuff in the theater. I'm not saying I'm a professional voice actor or anything. I can barely talk right now, but just imagine a bunch of theater kids.
Chipidawanga.
Lonely money. Yeah, just imagine a bunch of theater kids sitting around with, some good cameras and playing a game for your amusement.
I probably couldn't do my Watto the way I wanted to. My voice is all messed up, but
Jedi,
the
what do
public
you
credits
know?
and they don't work here. Public money.
You smashed up my pod, owes me a lot of money. Couple of lowlifes. Yeah. I lost everything.
Annie, little Annie.
Yep. He always wins.
Snibblebler, he always wins.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what George was thinking, but now we've got Watto.
What do you think you're some kind of Jedi waving your hand around like that?
I'm a Tordarian.
Mind tricks don't work on me.
The money. Oh man.
Oh man, there goes my voice. Oh god.
Yeah. Well,
Woo.
it could be worse. Could be doing Macho Man. Macho Man Randy Savage. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
With the tattoo.
Oh god, no, I can't do that. I felt that.
Got himself
I
a
felt that.
pod. Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've like
Little
got.
Annie he was a slave. Yeah, but the Macho Man couldn't stand for that. No.
Macho Man.
He rise above. Win the pod race. Get his freedom.
The cream rises to the top.
Yeah. Dark side. You gotta watch out for it. Ooh, stay away from the madness. Emperor Palpatine plotting behind the scenes. He and the Hulkster stabbing the Macho Man in the back. Stealing.
Let me tell you something, brother. You think you're the dark side. You think you're the Sith. You just wait till Saturday, because I'm a-coming for you, brother. I'm going to show you what the dark side really is. I'm going to show you the dark side of my ass, okay?
These 24-inch pythons. With your hot dog and your showboating.
That's right.
Oh, man. Yeah. Somebody should AI Star Wars with Macho Man and Hogan and and Jake the Snake and all those guys.
Don't forget the nonstop breathing.
Promos without the dialogue removed. It's so stupid, but it's funny. Okay.
So, speaking of which, before we continue,
get back to the topic.
Because I haven't done a rantcast in a long time, and I know this is like really late, but rest in peace to Ozzy Osbourne and Hulk Hogan.
Oh man.
Because the true American hero.
Yep.
Both died too young.
Yep. A lot of memories.
Yeah. That was something I forgot to bring up as a topic. I was going to let you know, and like
we always
missed it last week.
Acknowledge, yeah, you're right. The celebrities that passed away. Yeah, they both had their personal demons, but when you think back about what they did, you know, the impact they had. Salute.
So, play your favorite Ozzy song if you have one. If you haven't already, because I have an entire Black Sabbath album that I've been playing recently, and I know like it's I always find it really weird that we tend to show more attention to people after they're gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the biggest thing is at least you give the attention to people in life too. So I've always liked Ozzy's music, but I feel like as I've grown up, I moved to other forms of music. I wasn't a diehard Ozzy fan, but after he did pass, I was like, I'm gonna take some time to honor the artist. Can't really say I knew him as a person, but to honor the artist's music. And like there are a lot more songs that I actually enjoyed now that I took the time to actually listen to them all. Some not so much, but yeah.
Look back at his career.
And yeah. And then the Hulkster man had a really rough life.
Yeah.
So that was some rough times, and just rest in peace.
Yeah. Well, and with his work, if you go back to his matches, I'm thinking the stuff that he did in Japan. It's like he had a totally different wrestling style back then, and he was always larger than life. I mean, people say behind the scenes he'd take every opportunity, so sometimes he'd screw over other people.
He wasn't a very good. I guess he wasn't a very good person in his heyday either. Like he lied a lot.
Yeah.
He like set this image of himself as like the perfect person, but I also like to like I think I've mentioned to people, um, if you tend to not really care about people's personal life, about like actors,
Yeah,
actresses, stuff like
again, we're
that,
back into that. Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, yeah. But
yeah. Because
I,
I mean, without him, it's like okay, it was like Vince McMahon, Hulk Hogan, WrestleMania, all that stuff. Like it became mainstream, and it was like
yeah,
everybody knew who Hulk Hogan was. Like
and he had a lot of attention on
character.
himself. So,
Hmm.
like I said, I'm not excusing the bad behavior, but at
No,
that
not
same
at all.
point, back in the day, like having a public image, I think was kind of a necessary thing.
Yeah,
So, I just think he just didn't know how to stop,
no,
and it kind of cost him his career.
yeah. Because you think about it,
So,
he before he became the superstar, he was a villain. He did that really well.
yeah,
Then he was like, the clean cut hero, superhero, basically. And then when he went to WCW, he was a villain again. So, and it's like he did all of it really well. But yeah, it's kind of weird.
Hollywood Hogan.
Yeah, Hollywood Hogan. Um, it's kind of weird because, I mean, you look at Ozzy Osbourne, very talented musician, courted controversy. A lot of it wasn't his fault. Some of it was alcohol related for sure. But he had that whole show, The Osbournes, which to me, like, I didn't want to watch it because I was just like, it just makes him look like an idiot. It's just like
Yeah,
you're just gawking at this goofy guy and his weird family, like acting weird. But I mean, Hulk Hogan did the same thing. He had a show
yeah. Hogan
which
knows
was
best.
which was like, yeah, it was like tabloidy and like, just do just weird stuff to like court
His
controversy and
wife,
people.
his wife practically divorced him on that show.
Yeah, yeah, yep,
Like
yeah,
real time, like
yeah.
no joke.
So it's like that's a kind of like that's sort of like I mean I hate to compare it to Jerry Springer because maybe Jerry had some class, had some class.
He
Uh,
just brought people who they knew they were gonna not have a great time on that show, and
yeah,
like,
just a
yeah,
just like a yeah, just a freak show basically. But anyway, yeah, it's like,
this,
but
this
that's
is
sort
your
of,
life on drugs.
yeah, but
This
that's
is your
sort of,
life when you don't take care of yourself. Stuff
yeah,
like that.
but that sort of thing where it's like, I don't know, it's like you're humiliating yourself for entertainment. Like, I don't know, even if it's true, it's, I just feel wrong watching it.
Oh,
So,
Osborne's had some pretty funny shit in it though.
yeah,
But
there
yeah,
was,
I didn't watch too much of that reality TV nonsense, so I can kind of agree with you on it.
yeah, but there's montages. It was like the best of Ozzy Osbourne, and it's just like, or the funniest Ozzy Osbourne moments. And they're just like interviews where he just does just weird stuff and silly stuff, or I mean, there's touching moments too where he like meets fans and you know he wasn't like they called him the Prince of Darkness. It's like ooh he's this nasty guy, but I mean it was
The
an
Prince of
act.
Darkness.
He's a stage persona, right? I mean
I've been the Prince of Darkness for years.
yeah, well, it was Christopher Walken doing this whole thing. How come I don't get the credit I deserve? Yeah, but I mean, it was like so a lot of, as you know, a lot of his songs were very melancholy, and they allude to some of the things he was dealing with, like his addictions and stuff and
Yeah.
relationships, and so it's not like it was all just one thing. Like the guy wasn't one note, but you might have gotten that impression if you just sort of caught like the tail end of his career.
Yeah, I can kind of see it, but
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he had a lot of different like I don't know, he had a pretty good musical career, and he like
Hmm.
still wanted to do music even when he was like in pain
Yeah.
and stuff and
Well,
like suffering. So
there was a long running joke that it was like the first time he retired, he had to retire like four more times after that because he'd go on
yeah,
tour, the
wasn't it
farewell
Retirement
tour,
Sucks
and
or
then he's
something?
just like, no, I can't do it. I don't know if he relapsed again and it was just like, oh, he's got to go back. Like, some musicians, it's like them doing the music is what drives them to drink and pop pills and do all that stuff. Whereas other people, it's like know if they're not doing that, then they fall into depression and start doing the drugs again. So they got to get
I
back on
think
stage, and I don't know.
wasn't it in the '90s his first? Wasn't it like the Retirement Sucks tour or something like that?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, because I think that like um, my wife would be my mother-in-law was telling me that she went to that one of those shows.
Hmm.
And I was like, man, that'd have been like his first out of five retirement
Yeah,
tours.
maybe it was 5. Yeah. So I'm
But I
never
mean,
like a super fan. I mean, I heard his songs on the radio, and it was just like he was just kind of part of the, like, you've got your top 100 rock songs, and it's like he's in there, right? So, but yeah, now that he's gone, you can look back and appreciate his whole
I give him
career.
props because he played till he died. Pretty
Yeah,
much, he played that last charity like event, and, like
he could have
just
cashed in.
like
Yeah. Um.
he he like died a week later.
Wow.
You know about that? He did that like last show,
Hmm.
and
Yeah, you're
like
right. You're right.
he couldn't sit up. He was on a throne. They brought him up on a throne. He was sitting down. And he sang. So he did a show sitting down on this ginormous throne, and everybody played around him. He had like some people like he had some openers, I think, but like he played a very very long. It was like the like history. So like they brought in the Black Sabbath stuff like that,
Hmm.
and then um
He died a week
he
later.
ended the show. He ended the show with like a couple like farewell messages, and then yeah, about a week later, and that was all charity, I think.
Huh.
And like a week later, he passed away,
Wow.
but went out on his own terms.
Yeah. Ozfest. Yeah, I remember. I would always talk about Ozfest. Yeah. Oh,
Fixed
sorry.
it.
We missed a comment from Jace earlier, talking about Critical Role. I watched the first campaign. Yeah, they called them the campaigns. So the first, second, third, and this will be the fourth campaign without Matt Mercer in charge. Geek and Sundry. I watched a lot of the second campaign. The third one I tried to watch, but I could only watch when live. I never had a paid subscription to watch past episodes. Many celebrities get the rock star mentality. Well, yeah, it's hard. I imagine it's hard to have like a long and storied career and not let it go to your head, or not let it, I don't know, take a dark turn. I mean, you think of the cliches, like if anybody remembers VH1 behind the music. It's like it's almost like a formula. It's like, okay, they get the band together, they do the stuff, and then one night in a drunken brawl, it's just like it all falls apart. The guy goes to rehab, he gets divorced, and it's like all the stuff happens. And it's like, oh, but then he got clean, and then he came back, and then and then he had an overdose and he died. It's like, oh shoot. But you see that pattern happen to a lot of, not just in rock music, but just celebrity in general. Just it I don't know. The industry either chews the people up and spits them out, or yeah, they let the fame go to their head, or just people around them that have a bad influence. Not everyone though, but I guess we hear those stories, and it's like the story itself becomes the entertainment. It's like, oh, I can't wait to hear the drama about what happened to so and so. But yeah, I guess with Ozzy Osbourne, it wasn't quite like that, and I guess it's good that it wasn't just the same old story. I mean, we're talking about a person's life, not just a story that you wrote for entertainment.
Yeah, he's not just a jester for you to laugh at. Jeez.
He's a clown to make you laugh.
Get your shit together, man.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess I don't know. Maybe I should just sit down and watch a Critical Role one of these times and see
And
what all
yeah,
the fuss is about. I mean, I remember people criticized it early on, saying, "Well, people who got into the game because of Critical Role, expecting it to be like that, but then they're not actors, and so they don't have the same like ability to riff on stuff in such a dramatic way." But I don't know. I mean, I think if you're having fun, it doesn't really matter. Like, I look across the table and, oh, you're not a supermodel. Oh, well, that's not what I was expecting. Like,
oh,
or you can't do like 100 voices. You can only do two voices. Well, I mean, If it serves the story, if you can have fun, I mean, who cares?
Oh.
You're not doing it for an audience. You're just doing it for people at the table. You goof around with your friends. Maybe that's fine, but do you really want to do it for millions of people? Like it's a different kind of thing. Like even the clip I was watching with Joe Manganiello, I was like, man, their reactions are so over the top. Like I'm seeing it out of context, yes, but it's just like, okay, you're really laying it on thick here. Like if you watch a wrestling video, the Undertaker puts the guy in the tombstone pile driver, and then they show the people in the front row the reaction shots, and people are like, it's like you're not that. Come on, he's done this 100 times. Like, but because they're on camera, they're like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe it. That RKO
Oh
came out
my
of nowhere.
gosh. RKO!
Oh, he's
Oh my
broken in
god.
half. It's so old now, but man, that had such a good run.
It did have a good run.
The
I will
memes.
use it forever.
Yep. Yeah. So anyway, I guess I wish them luck. I wish them well. And I think if it is a snub to Dungeons and Dragons, maybe that's what they need. Kind of like Disney. Maybe just they take an L. Maybe it brings their ego down a little bit. I mean, I'm sure they're still plotting like, oh, how can we screw these guys over next time? But it's just like, okay, well, maybe if they get scared a little bit to lose some money, they'll try to improve their product, try to improve relations with their customers, something. I mean, maybe
I
Critical
mean,
Role will go back to D&D and it'll just be, but because people doubted for a second, like maybe that'll be enough to scare them into going, oh no, we don't want to lose so much of our audience. What were you gonna say? I kind of trailed off there.
I was I know, just agreeing with you on it, man.
Yeah, yeah. Like if you're at the
I don't
top,
have much of a hand in critical, so but
don't get too comfortable in your top position because
complacency is death.
complacency is death. Yeah, you could lose it. You take your audience for granted. You take your customer for granted for too long. It's gonna come back and bite you. It's gonna bite you in your bottom line.
It's like they say in KOTOR 2, but it's with apathy. Apathy is death. Apathy is death. It's just complacency is the same thing, man. Don't
Yeah,
don't get stuck in it.
yeah,
Just as bad for you.
yep. So yeah, any closing thoughts to wrap us up tonight?
Well, we had Superman. We were going to talk Superman
Oh,
and
Superman. So I have,
Fantastic Four, and then we could lead off from our. Because we
yeah,
were talking D&D.
I
I
forgot
did have a
all about
note about
Superman.
D&D being a possible failing venture,
Wow.
but um, I mean, we kind of did talk about that a little bit
Yeah,
with
they fired the staff. The digital platform was kind of a flop. There's been a
correct.
lot of, they've taken a lot of hits lately, and they're trying.
Yeah, I
Yeah, Chris Cox.
Chris Cox.
See, all I have to do is say his name, and that's all you need to know.
I think that a lot of companies though are doing mass layoffs. So I don't know about
Yeah,
that. I just there's only so much you can do with D&D. Um, and I think the direction they're going in, trying to do like a digital thing, making it all fancy schmancy, I think is the wrong direction. I think maybe updating how the game works with some cool play features and stuff like that might do it, but like the game is physical.
yeah,
Um, I mean, you can make it digital, but like they're really trying to work with an audience that I personally don't see existing. Um,
yeah.
so they just piss off their reoccurring audience.
Well,
And
and, and
so,
and you think about the tariff situation. We always go back to that. It's like, well, okay, it's just a passing thing, but as far as all the games out there that rely on like having like huge amounts of like plastic figures made overseas, like D&D, yes, they have miniatures, but the main game is just pencil and paper. Like you could bypass all that. I mean, I don't know
mhm.
if people still print books domestically, but I mean, okay, I guess it's even cheaper to just have like, yeah, an app on your phone or something. But I guess it's sort of that throwaway mentality. It's like we'll like with comic books, we'll have fans for a couple of years and then they'll age out and then we'll get the next group in and they'll do it, and it's just they're never going to come back to it. So your app expires, deletes itself. Who cares? Oh, you buy it again, buy the remaster in 10 years. But yeah, when it's a book, it's like, oh, you can just dust it off and play it again. But they could still entice you by saying, oh, but here's the new edition. I mean, it's not a tournament game like Warhammer where they can just say, "Oh, we got the new edition. You want to be in the tournament, you got to have the newest, book. You got to update everything." It's like, we will play the old campaign. But they were getting all this free publicity. Well, actually, I don't know if it was free publicity. I feel like didn't the Critical Role people have like contracts or something with Wizards? Because I go into game shops and I see like D&D products, but they're branded Critical Role on them. Of course, maybe they're generic because the OGL. You know what I mean?
uh, yeah.
Because I was like, you're losing your spokespeople. You know what I mean? Or maybe they never really had that kind of relationship. Maybe it was just, oh, it just so happens they're lucky that it's like having a celebrity that promotes your product because they really do like it. Or maybe I wonder if the rumor is true that they are switching to Daggerheart is because maybe the deal was changing. Maybe they would have to pay more money to Wizards or something. And so to have dodged that completely, they decided we'll go with a different game. Well,
See, I mean, that's
more
some
info.
good, let's say this
Speculation
is some good, like,
makes you wonder.
assumptions. Yeah.
Well,
For D&D, miniatures are just decorations and absolutely unnecessary. I agree with you, Bohemius.
yeah,
There's something we agree on.
yeah, you guys are both wrong. No, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. It's just a marker to say, oh yeah, my character's right here. I could just be putting my finger there. Or I could just imagine, yeah, he's in the northeast somewhere. But yeah, you have a little miniature. You could put it there. It could be a pawn. Yeah, he's that far away from the monster he's fighting. Okay, got it.
It's good for reference. Now, if you're
Yeah.
really descriptive, you could probably make that work and just describe how many meters or feet
Hmm.
or wherever you live in the world
He's wearing a
in whichever system you use.
tunic and he has gray eyes. Well, actually, blue eyes.
But I like unnecessary things.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so do a lot of people. I like unnecessary things.
love them. Yep. So changing topics because I totally forgot about Superman. I have not seen it yet. I was going to a couple of times and I'm like, oh, I'm too tired. I'll just do something else. But have you seen the new Superman or Fantastic Four?
No,
Ah,
I have no interest.
got him. Okay, that's it.
Sorry.
That's all we got, folks. You got the superhero fatigue, or you got the
Yeah, I just have
read the
no interest.
reviews?
I've seen there's certain Superman movies that I like,
Oh yeah,
and I don't really have a excuse me, don't really have a I need to watch this one. Like I know that all the new and younger audience really likes this one because he gets his ass kicked a lot and he looks like a wimp. So I guess if you guys like that, then you go watch it. But
that was a
to
major
me,
criticism. Yeah,
the Man of Steel is the Man of Steel, and like
yeah,
uh, Superman has been transformed so many times in the last 20 years,
yeah.
more so than he was prior to that. That I'm just so tired of seeing Superman.
Wow,
I'm so fucking sick of it.
wow.
Same thing with Marvel movies and all that stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, just get it away from me at this point.
So what
Like
if
I
they?
don't,
So you
don't
would
want
have
it.
you would have thought it just stayed true to the character that most people know, and that would have been better.
I mean, no. It's just there's so much. There's only so much you can do with Superman. Like, how many fucking times are they gonna reinvent Superman? Like,
So
the dude is literally God mode. Like,
yeah, he is.
what else can you do? Like,
Yeah. Well, you either have to give him foes that are like cosmically strong, or you
the
have to
next.
focus on the NPCs. The people he's got to save. Right.
So the next thing that I could think of them doing is making him completely evil. Which, oh,
They've done
newsflash, they
already.
already did that.
Yep.
Yeah.
3 times, 4 times.
And I thought they were gonna do that in like Batman versus Superman. I thought they were gonna go off in a weird way
Yeah.
where he like kind of goes evil because he hates the way the world's becoming, and then Batman was gonna have to try to fight him. Well, I mean that would have been cool, except for the fact that nobody liked Batfleck at all. So
A lot of people defended him though, but yeah,
I didn't care for it. I mean I could have lived or died without him. Like I didn't think he was awful,
he was okay.
but like it's
I thought.
like I said at that one point it was fine. The way they were portraying the character, it was a toss away Bruce Wayne that turned into a decent an okay Batman.
Hmm.
Like that was the point to me where I think they were kind of making DC was making throwaway characters. They didn't really add any life to them.
Yeah.
So
They were trying to
and
do a lot
unfortunately,
in a short time, and it was
yeah,
kind of haphazard.
Cavill tried really hard with Superman, and then like I said, I think it was just bad directing. Excuse me. I'm draining really bad. My sinuses are really bad. I'm really sorry.
That's
You
all
can hear
right.
all that on the audio. My noise suppression isn't working, so it's not going to sound like I'm throwing up.
Yep.
But
Do the best we can. Okay,
I don't know.
so Superman, not really interested. What about Fantastic Four? Pedro
There's still no
Pascal's in
interest.
it. Eh?
Don't care.
I know we already talked about that, but
I've seen one Pedro Pascal role, and that was The Mandalorian. I didn't even know he blew up until I looked into it. Like I saw him in Game of Thrones, and I saw him in The Mandalorian, and that was it.
did you say he
I
was in
could give
Buffy the
a shit
Vampire
less.
Slayer?
Oh yeah, like that's how he got to start. He lived off residuals for 20 years
Wow.
off Buffy the Vampire. So yeah,
Wow.
because he was an not an extra, but he was a
Sporting character.
he had like a minor role in Buffy, I think.
Okay.
And so what happened was, since that show like aired so much on TV, every time he would go pretty much broke or destitute,
Wow.
a residual check would roll in. And now he had a minor paying job, I'm pretty sure, but he was thinking about quitting Hollywood. And then he got a pretty decent role, I guess. He hit it big, but that's what I'm saying is like you're that humbled, and then you get that big, and you think that you don't have a huge dick, and then like he ends up thinking he does.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
the dude like pretty much lived homeless, and like has been at rock bottom, but
Nothing.
it was his skill and talent that got him where he is, not just fucking pure ass luck. And that's why I can't encourage like when my kids are like, "Oh, I want to be in movies and stuff." I'm like, "Well, you try your hardest, but it's really hard for me not to tell my kids like, look, it's almost a roll of the dice."
Yeah.
Because there are millions of people who work their hardest and go through Los Angeles or Hollywood or whatever the fuck,
Hmm.
and like they
Wash
bust their ass for almost no money and like go broke and on drugs and all sorts of shit,
Yeah.
and they get nowhere. Being a movie star is a one in a million deal, and it's almost not even worth it anymore.
Yeah.
So there, to me, I almost feel like there's almost no accomplishment either. But like you work hard enough, you might get into something minor. But the whole goal for a lot of people is they just want to make it big, and like don't look at that as a goal because it's something that like I don't think is attainable by just you and you alone. It's like a talent, a talent person or an agent will look at you and say, "Oh, you're great," but you have to pick up a particular role, and that role has to be good with the public, and then you'll get big. But who knows how long you'll get big for?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Some people make it look good. Like, you've got really good actors out there. But once again, they also struggled in the beginning, and they went years and years and years and years. So I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing, but yeah, he went 20 years just scraping by, and that's the weirdest thing for me, is that I feel like that would make you a genuine human being at one point, but I guess not.
Hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
So no Fantastic Four either.
Sorry, I'm ranting way too much, I guess.
Oh well, this is the Rantcast. If you can't rant here, where can you rant?
It's making me cough
Too much.
uncontrollably. Yeah, I suppose. No Fantastic Four.
I guess.
I wasn't really a Fantastic Four person, to be
Yeah, I
honest.
had one comic of theirs as a kid, and I liked it. I mean, I really liked the Thing because he was a big rock guy. That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
But yeah, they were a superhero team, and so it's kind of like the X-Men. It's like you wanted to tell the story in such a way so that each character has their moment and they all kind of come together. With the Avengers, it's different because they each have already been developed individually, and then you're just bringing them together. So seeing them together is kind of the special feature. Whereas, yeah, when they start out as a team, they're always a team. And with the X-Men, you got people coming and going. With the Fantastic Four, it's those four. And so there've been attempts to put it on the screen. I mean, I saw the first two movies, um, and then the more recent one, which I knew was bad, but it's like, yeah, we were getting into the period where superhero movies would come out and I just wouldn't care. And I go, well, I guess I should probably see it sooner or later. Like, okay, let's see what it is. Yep, it's just as bad as everyone said, or just as forgettable as everyone said. And it's like
right.
they're gonna try it again. Well, maybe they'll get it this time. And the best things I'm hearing about both of these movies, Superman and Fantastic Four, is it seems to be like they're better than average. Like they're a little bit better than the superhero. Like we've been seeing a lot of mediocre to terrible superhero movies lately, or very forgettable ones, very mediocre ones. And it's just like, oh, they're better than average. People had fun. It's like, oh, great, it's the franchises are back. The DC and Marvel are going to turn things around. They're going to make huge profits, and it's going to be like they announce all these new projects, and it's like, well, is it really enough? Is it really enough to sustain that? You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. So I guess yeah, I could go either way on these. I could be like, yeah, I won't expect much, but maybe I'll have a good time at the movies, or maybe not. Maybe it'll come to video and nobody will watch it. Nobody will talk about it anymore. Because some of these movies, yeah, it's like, oh, it's the best film of the year. Yeah, but the year was terrible. Like all the movies sucked.
It's the number one film in America.
Yeah. Compared to what?
Yeah,
You got to what is this competition? Is it going to go down in history or is it going to be forgotten? Rightly so.
I feel like most like superhero movies, it's not gonna last very long.
Well, and I don't know about Fantastic
So,
Four, but what they were saying about Superman is there's so many characters in it. It's like, yeah, it's like an attempt to say, okay, let's launch all these different characters out there and hope that we can get a franchise out of a few of them. So even if Superman isn't even the main character in his own story, like I don't know,
I got Crypto, Supergirl, all that crap.
you know, Mr. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Uh, I like I said, I haven't seen it, but I've seen the trailers and I've read about it. People have given their reviews, and there's a twist at the end that a lot of people hated. I read the spoilers, and it's like,
By the
oh,
way, do you know about Crypto, by the way?
he's a dog.
Yeah. There was a show on Cartoon Network called Crypto, the
Oh,
Super Dog.
I
And it
read
was
him in the
about
comics.
Superman's dog. Oh, okay. Yeah, I recognized it from the TV show Crypto, the Super Dog.
Okay, I didn't know there was
And
a TV show.
yeah, it was a very, very kid friendly show. Very, very, very kid friendly. You should look up the theme. It's very cute.
Okay.
And that was my very exposure to crypto.
Wow.
And did not know Superman had a dog at all before that.
Yep.
And I thought that that's where they got their inspiration for this. Was like, oh, they took it from the fucking cartoon. That's how little I've paid attention to comics
Yeah.
or anything superhero
Well,
related.
yeah, in the main Superman lore that everybody knows now, because there've been multiple over the years since 1938. You had one stream of it was, oh, he was not the last survivor of Krypton. There was the Bottle City of Kandor with all those people. There was Supergirl, and she was supposed to protect him, but the time frame got goofed up, and so she was like older than him. And yeah, it's Crypto the Super Dog, and he had a super horse as well. There's like all
Yeah,
these
super horse.
super horse, yeah. And there was Bizarro and Bizarro World, and there's all those people, and there was like, yeah, there was just a lot of there was other Kryptonian characters because there were alternate worlds, like where either Krypton didn't get destroyed or more people survived the cataclysm, or you had duplicates of Superman that were created in different like time streams, and yeah, sometimes they would come together and have adventures. Like Superboy, he would like I guess fly really fast and like go into the future, and he like would hang out with these other superheroes like in the far future, and they would have adventures, and then he'd time travel back to his own time and like hang out with Ma and Pa Kent, and it was just like all kinds of stuff.
What?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
but it let
so
the
this is
comic
my
writers
only.
like just write whatever they wanted in these really imaginative ways, and then they could always just like reset it back to how it was in the next comic.
Okay, so this is the only. Wow, this book is really fucking expensive now. So this is my only exposure to Superman. My first real, like, I used to watch him in the cartoons, right?
Yep, yep.
Like the old ones, like,
Super Friends.
or Chris. Was it Christopher Reeves?
Christopher
I used to
Reeves.
watch.
There was
Yeah,
George
um,
Reeves on the TV show, and there was Christopher Reeve in the
but
movies. Yeah.
I used to watch. My stepdad, a great person by the way, but he gave me this book at one point in time and told me I had to read all of it.
Nice.
This was his version of like homework at the time. But this is here. I'm gonna send this to you
He's
if
schooled
you want
you.
to bring this up.
Sure.
But it was called the Death and Life of
Oh
Superman.
yes, I have this novel. That was
So
a
you
good one.
have it. It's $112 now.
Dang. I got it for whatever the
So
newsstand price was. Yep.
yeah, I read this and I don't remember very much about it, other than the fact that I believe was it Darkseid was in this. I can't remember if it was
Yeah.
Darkseid or
Or no,
um,
Doomsday. Doomsday.
Doomsday.
Yeah.
But it was Doomsday was in this, and there was a big fight with Doomsday, and Superman dies,
Way to
and he comes
spoil it,
back.
bro. I know.
So, oh, sorry. I mean, it says the death and life of Superman, but
Spoilers.
so, but it was a very reverse.
Yeah, it was a good novel.
Like,
I enjoyed it.
it's a very good novel. Um, I would like to reread it one day and actually take the moment to, because I was like in my preteens when I watched it, when I read this. And I had no fucking interest in Superman at all. And my stepdad was like a closet. He was like a big nerd back when
Mhm.
big nerdy wasn't popular. He was also a piece of trash. So he was like one of those really not cool nerds.
Oh,
He told me I had to read this book, and so I read it. I sat in my room and read it because I had to do something for. This was like their idea of like for homework. I had to like do like an hour reading or something for school. So like he was like, "You read this."
2004,
I was
right
like,
next turn. Okay. Yep.
"Yeah." So I read this, and I remember getting to certain parts, and I was like, "That's crazy." And then like, but besides that, I didn't fully understand half of that book, other than the fact that I know that he gets resurrected or something,
Yep.
and you understand a little bit of Superman's actual emotions coming back,
Mhm.
or that he might be a little bit more hateful or stuff like that. In all of the times that they've done something on Superman in the last 20 to 30 years, they have never done something based on the death and life of Superman. And I think it's a great concept.
Mhm.
if you really want to do a fucking movie about Superman, because I know that a lot of people put Superman in really complex situations with people. Like a lot of people criticize him, or they chastise him, or they blame him for like the way that, or they blame him for the deaths of many people.
Yeah.
And even though he's trying to help,
You beat the
he
villain, but you
becomes
destroyed
hated.
the city in the process. And we can't trust
Yeah.
you because you're a
So,
big, scary alien guy. Yep.
and that's why I think that this book is good because it portrays him as the hero that everybody loves. He ended up dying,
Hmm.
uh, probably about halfway. But in between that, he also has to face difficult decisions and consequences from the people.
Yep.
But as he dies, he's cherished. As he comes back, his personality and himself is changed.
Yep.
Um, and when he comes back, I think, if I remember right, those people expect him to just carry on.
Hmm.
So I have to reread this book.
I'd like to reread it
But
too now that you mention it.
um,
I haven't thought
it is
about
a
this in
great
years.
book.
Yeah, I
If
really.
you ever run across this at a book fair
Yep.
or like for cheap, pick it up. Like I said, I remember very little about this book, and I know somebody's gonna ask me, well, if you remember very little, how do you know if it's good? I will tell you there are
Remember how
things
I
that
felt.
stay in your memory. Yes, your emotions, feelings, things. There are parts of this book I did not fully grasp. It's like I also around this time I also read the Forrest Gump novel,
Oh yeah.
and like I
Never read
enjoyed
it.
that a lot better.
Yeah.
But oh, it's so good. It's so
I've heard.
good.
Yeah.
And I read like books like Pen. I don't know if anybody knows what the Pendragon novels are, but those are good books too. I'm reading those to my kids right now.
Cool.
Um, they're like journey through time and space type books, but they're really it's like a books for like kids. I think 9 to 13, similar to Harry Potter
Young adult
type novels.
fiction,
Yeah,
basically.
it's like growing up, coming of age.
YA
But yeah,
novel.
it's they're really good. They're really really good.
Right.
So I kind of like break some age rules with my kids on that one because their kids are 8 and 9. I'm like, well, we can kind of, as long as you guys are, okay with it, because there are some things they don't understand. I'm like, we'll kind of explain that later on, like
Yeah.
world things, because it includes certain history and stuff like that in there. But
Yep.
besides that, they understand a lot of those books. But yeah, Death and Life of Superman is really good.
I remember some parts of the book. It was like Superman, like he only needed like 1 hour of sleep a night, but now he's getting older. He needs 2 hours of sleep, or something like. And it was just like, what was the other thing? Like he goes to visit
Didn't
his
he?
doctor, and he like all his career he didn't quite realize that he absorbs the sunlight, and that's the source of his
Yeah, that's
power.
what I'm talking about.
So it's like, oh, my
The
power
thing,
has actually been diminished because I haven't been like soaking up the sun as much, and so like over the
didn't
years,
he fly into the sun
his power is
or something
gradually
in
going
this book?
down. Yeah, he recharges himself,
Okay,
but it's like
that's what
okay, that's
because he has
part of
to
the reason
fight.
why he wasn't ready to fight Doomsday because his power had been diminishing over the
He has to
years.
fight Doomsday again. Doesn't he fight him again later on in the book?
I
I
know
can't remember.
I know he does in the comics. I don't remember if he does in the book because a lot of the stuff in this book is based on what happened in the comics, but some of it's different.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm
Okay,
forgetting now which is which. So I'll probably have to reread it.
but yeah, that's something that I brought up was
Hmm.
I remember him flying into the sun
Yep.
and um he like holds that energy. So
Yep.
I think at one point in time somebody compared Superman to like a world like atomic bomb. And at that point, I'm like, okay, you are literally just like it's like an 8-year-old saying, I'm invincible."
Yep.
So
Yeah.
that's
But
it.
still, you could do it in an interesting way because yeah, that was one of the things. Well, who is Superman? Well, he's invulnerable. But he didn't start out that way. It was just like, no, he's just really, really, really hard to do any damage to. Like you'd have to hit
Faster
him.
than a speeding bullet.
Yeah. More powerful than a
Yeah.
locomotive, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. Well, wait, he can
Yeah.
just fly, right? Well, at first he just jumped really high,
Yeah.
which is like what Doomsday does. He just jumps really high, like he leaps into the sky and then he comes crashing down. Yeah. But yeah, Superman just became so powerful, but to write him in an interesting way, you had to be creative. Of course,
Yes. Yes.
you could just depower him and just say, "Oh yeah, sure. He's not that super. He's just above average man.
Ab-
He's
Above average man.
he's pretty okay, man." He has the face of Ryan Johnson.
Hey. Okay, so just before we close here, I have to take a quick bathroom break. Um, but I mean, do we have anything else
I think we've gotten to the
that
end of
you?
our topics. I mean, we could close out if we're ready to do that.
Yeah. Um,
Plug
I think we got all of our topics today.
plug everything. Amazing. That
All
never
right.
happens.
Well,
Usually we don't get something done or you know
a
forget.
little bit too hard, and 3 hours is pretty good. So,
Not bad.
with that being said, um, yeah, we've reached our time. This has been the Rantcast. I'm Josh, also known as TheStrangeBus. I'm still occasionally streaming, but you can catch me at twitch.tv/TheStrangeBus. I'd like to thank Kurgan, also known as HeroQuest fans, for once again welcoming me back on
Of course,
to the
yeah.
Rantcast. But you
Same
can
with us.
catch him at twitch.tv/HeroQuest fans. That's twitch.tv/HeroQuest fans. Also known as XSC3 Home of HeroQuest fans on YouTube. Go give him a check out. He's the one pulling all of this together. And we actually have a Rantcast Discord now. I converted my StrangeBus Discord over to the Rantcast Discord. So eventually I'm going to do some bot work.
It's
We'll get that migrated over to this Twitch account.
the busted
Um,
Discord is now the Rantcast Podcast Discord.
that's right. So just because literally if I didn't do that, my Discord would be a graveyard. Because I'm busy with life at home now. I've got kids that are growing up. I read to my kids every night. I wake up early, I help cook breakfast. If I'm not cooking breakfast,
Yeah.
I'm gone at work. So I am I'm doing things all the time.
I feel like
And so
you were playing Street Fighter 2 and you lost to Guile and he said go home and be a family man. So you're like, "All right, I'm doing that."
that's it. I'm going home and being a family man. Occasionally I will get a big brain and I'll pull an all-nighter on a stream or something. Like I'll probably be staying up tonight, just getting some time for myself. I'll probably be playing Ready or Not or whatever. But as far as that goes, um, yeah, I don't know when I'm making an official comeback for streaming on my own. So every once in a while, you'll see me pop in. I'll probably be playing like PS2 or Xbox or just whatever I feel like playing. Other than that, yeah, I really want to thank Kurgan publicly here for keeping the Rantcast going, keeping the Discord going, because he's also going to be the um, kind of the guy managing it when I'm not managing it myself. So, um, but yeah, just the guy doing the majority of the work now. So, um, appreciate everything you do,
Thanks, man.
and yes, and I will be here as much as I can be, and I want to thank you guys for just being here.
Yeah.
So
Thank you
that
guys.
all will always say that the, as crazy as what the last couple of years have been with the Rantcast, I don't think we're going to be changing or doing anything else. So
Yeah.
um, we're always glad to have you here, even if it's just one or two people.
Yep.
So
Well, we've had
thank you
some
guys
interesting
so
guests over
much.
the years, you know. Remember that
Yeah.
day Ed Carmine came in and started talking to us. It was just like, what? What is happening right now?
And had Amalgamash on there, although I was like super sick.
Yeah.
I was even like, yeah, even you, Bohemians. I enjoy having you here.
Yep.
You know for a fact
Bohemius.
because it's I just then we could
Staple of
just
our.
fight. We just fight to the death.
Yeah, for sure.
No man, it's always a pleasure to have you
Yeah.
here. Um, And that's that's never going to change. But yes, thank you guys so much for watching. We should be back next Tuesday at 9:00. So get ready for that.
Yep.
And we'll see you guys later.
Yep. No HeroQuest fans stream this weekend. I'm gonna be
What?
I know. I'm gonna be picking up my vehicle, and I might actually be doing some offline stuff. But I will be back to HeroQuest fans August 22nd, 23rd, planning the big arena battle that the people have unlocked. I asked people to contribute their gold coins, their channel points, um, towards what do they call it? A group goal on Twitch. And it took months, way longer than I thought. But it's like, okay, we need to just have a special game, like a 2-day event. So I'm thinking of something along the lines of like, do you remember in wrestling they had war games where they had the 2 rings put together and they had the steel cage surrounding everything? Thinking something along those lines. So I'm still kind of working on it.
What you should do is you should do a 24-hour HeroQuest stream.
Oh, dang. I'm such an old man. Can I do something that cool?
I don't know. We can help you.
Like I could we'll tag team. Somebody else will take over. Keep doing it, and I'll come back.
What I'm saying is that you should do something. Do a big event.
It's like at 3 a.m. There's like 2 guys on there, just still going.
Yeah, man.
Interesting. Maybe for the second one. Because I was just thinking, oh, we just do it day 1, and we pick up day 2. But I mean, for all we know, it might spill over into the following weekend. I mean, we don't get it all done. People still haven't gotten out of their system. But
I was thinking I might just stream and read the chronology like I used to.
Oh yeah.
Just go back to just reading the chronology. We'll just do a night read.
It's a little story time with.
Yeah, I don't have to play games. I just do a night read. You know.
Yeah. I enjoyed the choose your own adventures. Those were fun. Yeah. Get some Sean Connery in there. You know.
Sean Connery.
Ghost hunters.
Ghost hunter.
Ghost hunter.
He's gonna borrow your Humvee.
Yep. Classic. Yeah. All right. Well.
All right, guys.
Another rant cast. One for the books. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Jacer. Thanks, Bohemius. One's still awake, and we'll see who we can raid. We're gonna do another Vine Sauce.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I mean, that's how it's been going.
It's the full sauce. Hey, don't forget to subscribe to Vine Sauce for all your gaming needs. Yep. He does commercial chaos and like weird stuff. So if you want to ever see like old school commercials or really whacked out commercials, he does stuff like that. It's really great. He's also the Nintendo guy too at times. So if you're ever into that.